The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 365. Being recorded on August 16, 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, known as JesusWalksAlot. Today I'm joined by my friend from the West Coast, the best coast, Gang Chief, Henry Merrill is back. Welcome back, Henry. Welcome.
Hey, West Coast representing over here. How's it going?
Represent. That's right. It's going mighty fine, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. And special guest host from Wyoming. You know him as the Brink of Eternity. Welcome back, Brink. Welcome.
What's up, Jesus and Gunny?
Hey.
How are y'all? How are y'all?
We be good.
Oh,
How is it in Middle America?
yeah.
Are you on fire out there? Isn't there like fire
smoky.
sleds?
It's so smoky.
Locust?
The sky has been gray for like 3 weeks. I forgot what color it is.
Yeah, it's been that way here too, but it hasn't been like unbreathable. It was only up in the mountains over here.
Every day I get air quality alerts on my phone. It's like, you're going to die. I'm like, okay.
Oh, you mean like last year where the sky was fucking red over here? Literally red? The shit was fucking like the apocalypse, dude.
Well,
I thought the world was gonna
source, man.
I thought the shit was gonna. I thought the world was ending that morning. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, this is it. This is how the zombie apocalypse begins. We're all fucking dead." Well, we made it, boys. Zombie apocalypse time. I swear to God, that's what I thought it was. I was like, "What the fuck?" But this year is not as bad, Gunny. You were right though when you told me the smoke was coming this way from California.
I knew it.
Sure
Yeah.
enough, like, was it like maybe a few days after that, we're getting like on the news, like, oh, we got all this wildfire smoke from California coming on up. And then like, all the
'Cause
fucking
it-
smoke.
Isn't there
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's like the California's largest, I don't know, they're always breaking records with this, like California's largest fire in history, whatever the fuck. And then there's like one in Southern Oregon or Northern. So you're like just enclosed in this like giant smoke cloud, Jesus. Just a
No,
know
giant
a lot of
smoke
ours-
cloud.
Yeah.
A lot of ours is coming down from Minnesota and Montana, actually. So
See, ours comes out
the
from
Minnesota
California.
one just started, actually. So
That's where our smoke comes from.
that's weird. Over there, it's coming up, and over here, it's coming down. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
bro.
always been
Vortex
that
of
way.
Death.
I've always noticed that where I'm in the Bay Area, I'm kind of like in the middle of California, but then I've always been fortunate enough that it doesn't quite clog my city with smoke. Unless I'm in the hills.
It's all smoky out here.
I try to stay away from there.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it was last year. Last year we had like worse air quality than like Hong Kong or something. It was pretty bad. We had like the worst air quality in the world for like a few days. It was that bad.
That's stuff. It will fuck you up, man. Like,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
will-
it was
You
bad.
feel it. You.
We had to
definitely
delay the show a few times, right, Jesus?
Yeah, it
Your
was
breathing?
bad. Yeah, man, it was bad last year. Like, yeah, it was fucking bad. This year, not so bad, but last year, fucking terrible. It sucks.
Yeah, I think that's like one of
Anyways.
the main reasons I got this shingles thing going. Gunny, you're old too. Have you had the
Are you
shingles?
telling the
About
world now?
7 years ago. 7 years ago, I had it. Yeah.
Oh, you had it 7 years. Oh, Gunny has experience.
7,
You guys are
Where'd-
Brink. We
where'd you
found
get
a
it?
survivor. We found a
Like
survivor.
I got it on my chest and on my back.
Okay, yeah.
Because I went to the doctor. I was like, what the hell is this? Right? And I'm like, I got a rash. Yeah.
Doctor,
And then she's
I'm
like,
dying.
oh no, it's shingles. Yeah, you gotta. I was like, what the hell is that? Like or some kind of roof thing? And
Shingles.
she's like, you had the chicken pox, so yeah, you just kind of get it like when you're mid 40s or
I
early
got
40s.
it like all over the side of my face and head, so it's been pretty rough.
Ugh.
Brink pretty much looks like Deadpool when he takes off his mask.
Yeah.
All blistered and burnt.
He's all like
Exactly
blistered
like
up and
that.
shit.
Just on half my face, like a cut line down the middle of my face.
Literally, it's like he's
Wild,
like
dude.
He's like Two-Face, dude. Like
I was
exactly
thinking of
like
that
down the
Batman
middle.
character, yeah.
Fucking the Hamburglar or some shit. I don't know.
Anyways, Brink, look, we brought you to a group of survivors here.
Well, I'm glad.
Welcome.
This is like a
that Gunny's here, and I can have a connection with him.
This is like a make-a-wish for you. We brought you in front of a survivor. His name is Gunny Chief. Gunny Chief survived the shingles.
I'm just curious,
7
Brink,
years
did they...
ago.
I just remember them telling me, like, because I'm like, do I throw powder or some kind of lotion I toss on there? And they're like, nah, you just kind of go with it. I mean, that's what they told me. They said, don't put crap on it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to put nothing on it. Actually, you want it to dry out because when the layers of skin dry out, it like kills the virus right there. So it's it sucks. I don't wish it upon anyone.
No, it was painful. It was like felt like I got burnt.
Damn. Sounds pretty intense for our old community listening.
You know what you can do, Jesus, as a millennial you?
What?
You can actually go get a shingle shot.
That's what I was telling Brink. I'm going to go get it now.
You can't. They won't give it to you until you hit a certain age. It's either 50 or 60 you got to be.
Oh, that's right. My buddy hit 50.
I feel like that's vaccine racism.
Yeah, if you ask for it, they'll straight up tell you no. So I don't know why. It's weird.
I bet you if I pay them, they'll do it.
You can, bro. See if you can get me one. Send it to me. I'll take that.
Fucking pay them. Pay them under the table to give me a shingles vaccine.
You won't get it again. I think the chances you have a better chance winning the lottery or something.
Really? You
think?
The
second time, yeah.
No, I hope you're right. Because like I freaking literally just canceled my vacation. Like I sent my family off to Florida today. They're all gonna go have a great time and go to Orlando Studios and Harry Potter's World. And I'm just gonna fucking sit here and die. So
they left Brink in the cave, hide him from the world.
Right. It's like he's got like a hooded robe on. We can't really
when he's in public to have him wear like a fucking robe.
Under the robe, believe it, I'm naked. Well, except for the diaper.
He's wearing on the world got the fucking hunchback in Notre Dame, the fucking robe over his head.
Like Beauty and the Beast over here.
It's gonna come back and it's just gonna be like a dungeon. Freaking there's gonna be
cold, dark.
And shit. You're just gonna hear growling coming from upstairs.
Fucking pigeons all over the fucking house.
I don't know if I want to go in there or not.
Brink made
blood
pigeons
smears on the walls.
Oh shit. Anyways, welcome to the show, people. The Mayo couldn't make it today. He is out and about doing Mayo things. I believe he said he's like moving to. Is he moving today, or is he like planning to move?
No, or he was trying to get a place to live. Yeah,
I think he's got a place. I think he found a place. He just had to go like talk to them in person or something. I don't know, something.
Yeah, something about maybe his puppy had to go to the vet, something like that.
I think his butler got tired of him and kicked him out. It's like, fuck you, man.
Isn't his apartment
got
pretty
evicted.
sick? Why is he moving?
It's expensive. Yeah, it's expensive. I think like they legit raised his rent like a shitload of money.
They do that. After they give you a year lease, and then they, when they go to say, hey, come in the office, sign a new lease, check it out. Here's your new rent.
Well, and they can't evict the people not paying rent. So
Mayo, just
everybody else.
Mayo, just stay in there, dude. Just fucking, they can't evict you.
Yeah, there you go,
just
bro. You don't have to pay.
You don't have to leave.
just fucking live for free. Yeah,
Don't
just stop paying rent. Yeah, what kind of loser pays rent? Just stop paying rent. And they can't evict you.
Yeah.
Isn't there a moratorium? Is that what they call it?
Yeah. I didn't they add like they extended it or something because of the new Delta variant shit.
Yeah.
So yeah. Just fucking don't pay rent, man. Just fuck that shit. Only losers pay rent.
Sign on your door that says "Fuck you, I live here."
Yeah, fuck you. Try to evict me, bitches. I'll be in my Camaro.
I'm stating a moratorium.
Yeah, do it. That'd be badass. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you have neighbors with Lamborghinis and shit, right? Like I'm pretty sure like the manager and the landlord are sitting there thinking, we could probably raise the rent by a shitload of money on these motherfuckers. Yep. They're all driving Lamborghinis and new Camaros and shit.
Yeah. Right. That's how it works. If I went and showed the owner, the owner of the property.
Hey, look, these motherfuckers are driving Porsches and Lamborghinis, and this motherfucker's bought a brand new Camaro. Let's raise the rent on these motherfuckers.
Not just any Camaro, but like a hot, souped up one.
Yeah, like a nice ass one. Like, Mayo's Camaro isn't like a normal Camaro you see on the road, people. This is like some motherfucking Transformer ass looking Camaro, right? It's all fucking souped up and has like fucking black rims and like a black fucking wing on the back. It has like fucking body kit on that motherfucker. That shit looks nice,
dude. Speed stripes going?
No, he doesn't have speed stripes, but he has like it's all white and it has like black accents all over it. Like some parts of the car are painted like in black. Like so like the slots in the hood are painted black. The engine is like painted like black, but it has like red. It says Camaro in red, and it has like it looks fucking sick. Like the car is really fucking nice, dude. The interior is fucking sick too. Yeah, the interior is like
for interior.
Yeah, the interior is like black and white, and it has like RGB lights and shit in it.
Yeah, that's like I've seen his PC before.
Yeah, that legit has like rainbow RGB lights in the inside, and he can control the color of them and shit. It's just like RGB, like it looks legit.
That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, man, but yeah, it's a fucking sick ass car for Mayo. I mean, he's driving like a fucking 19-year-old's car, pretty much.
Yeah,
like a rich 19-year-old's car. Yeah, but anyways, good luck, Mayo. Just don't pay your rent, dude. Just tell him to fuck off, and you own that fucking building now.
Exactly.
Go get all the free food. Yeah, go get all the free food and the free car washes while they last. Till they can evict
milk it dry.
Wash your car every fucking 3 hours. But yeah, anyways, you can follow us on Twitter _HorribleGamers. Join our Facebook group, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. There's a page on Facebook as well, Horrible Gamers Podcast. You go ahead and like that. Support this show with the monies over at patreon.com/HorribleGamers, like our friends. Let me pull the list up. Leahy, the legendary D, Big D Leahy, Jason Sams, Robert Noble, Sean Patrick, Chad, Native Lives Matter, Henley M, Pork Chop Poo, Nipron, best HGP host ever. I wonder who that is. John Jerome, Evan the Grower, Not a Shower, Big D Tanaka, Jonathan Titan, Big D Hall, and the first HGP Patreon, Bill, still even the biggest D, Garner the second. Thank you guys for supporting the show with the monies. And yeah, gentlemen, let's talk about video games. You can also buy some stuff at Redbubble. You know all that. And you know who makes the music, Phantom Mech. Fuck all that shit. You know all that. I'm not doing all that this week. All right?
Been there, done that.
Right. Well, it's time to talk about video games that we've been playing this week. Pretty much, I'm going to tell you something, guys. I haven't played jack shit. Like
again?
Listen, man, I don't know, like video games just don't seem to grab my attention anymore. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the video game world in general. It's just not interesting to me anymore, or what the fuck it is. It's just I have like no desire to come home and play video games. I legit come home and like I don't even want to turn on my PC.
Wow.
I don't want to turn on the PS5. I want to sleep. So I sleep.
You must be tired, dude.
Something, dude. I don't know, man. Like, it's just video games are not fun. Like, they don't sound fun to me.
Did you
like,
go,
I sit there and I'm like, what do you mean?
Did you go like 2 or 3 days without playing?
I've gone like most of the week without playing.
Because that is what I found for myself. If I detox with games for like 3, 4, 5 days, when I come back, that desire where you're at work and you're like, I can't wait to just go home and play this game. Yeah. That completely disappears. And then you have to sort of like find a game that is able to pull you back in. And once you're pulled back in, suddenly you'll find you start craving games again all the time. At least that's what I found for myself.
See, I do
Like,
that. I do that, Jesus. I don't game on, sometimes Wednesday, but it's usually like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday thing for me because I'm working so much during those 3 days.
Yeah.
But then Saturday, it's almost like ease back into it again.
Yeah, like, see, I tried, bro. I tried. I'm trying.
Have you, Jesus, let me ask you, have you thought about like, fuck it, I'm going to, make sure my Call of Duty Cold War is up to date, or fucking Modern Warfare 4, and just get in there and like, I don't know, is there anything like that you would say, hey, these are my objectives or whatever I want to complete?
No, bro, I'm boycotting Activision with all their fucking sexual harassment shit.
That's right. Okay. You did say that, yeah.
You just need the new hotness, man.
I need something, right? And like even today, like, okay, like
I almost said Overwatch, but then I thought, wait, isn't that Activision also?
I need something that's gonna fucking pull me back in. I don't know what it is yet, and I'm hoping that it's Ghost of Tsushima this week with their new director's cut shit. You know, like that new PS5 mode or whatever that they're releasing. I'm hoping that's it because I'm gonna restart that game, or maybe I should continue where I'm at. I don't know yet.
Just continue, man.
But I know that game is gonna be like super dope on the PS5. They're doing like all these enhancements and shit to it, and it's gonna be running super fucking smooth. And so I look forward to buying that this week. I'm gonna play that. About the only thing that I've really been playing this week is my Switch, dude. I mean, out of all the consoles, there's something. I don't know if I'm just like done with video games with like multiplayer for the moment. It's just I've been playing Pokemon, dude. Okay, and like this is literally just like a pick up and play at any pace. It never punishes you. And like on the Switch standby, I can legit like leave the game and come back 3 months later, and as long as the Switch didn't die, the game is still there in that same fucking spot. Like the character did not move. He is standing right there. So like I just launch the game, pick it up, launch it. My character's still standing there. And then we run around, we kill some Pokemon, or we fight Pokemon, we capture Pokemon. I'm doing all these gym battles and shit. That game is dope as fuck. And like I don't know what it is. If it's the simplicity of being like a single player, offline, kind of like do your own thing at your own fucking pace. Fight these Pokemon, capture them, fucking train them, whatever the fuck you're doing. I don't know what it is, man, but I'm fucking like really enjoying Pokemon. And I was sitting there thinking I was thinking to myself, does the Xbox, PlayStation, or PC have this type of experience? And I was thinking to myself, the closest thing that has this type of experience is the PlayStation with their single player games, where you literally could just pick up and play, and you don't have to worry about being online.
There's
whatever.
I'll tell you this, even with the PS4 Pro, I'll put up the PS4 Pro versus the Xbox One, One X, and Series S. So, like for example, I've been playing SnowRunner, Jesus, right? That's kind of my go-to single player game, even though you can play it co-op. But I swear, if that game goes into if I put it in standby, or it just auto stands by, right, for more than one day, it just freezes. It won't work. Anything on the Xbox, it just does not work.
You know why? Because it's
quick resume, online. But it doesn't work. Huh?
It's always online. It's always checking, and the internet connection dies. When you
why does it freeze though? But if I'm on my PS4 Pro and I'm playing any game on there, right? Doesn't matter what it is. Boom, they're just standing right where the spot I left them at, and it just unpauses. Here I go.
It just works on the PlayStation. Like I was thinking that the other day playing my Switch. I was sitting there like thinking to myself, it's so cool to just be like, if I want to play this right now for 10 minutes, I could just come on here, turn it on, and start playing, and it doesn't matter where I left off because I know exactly where I left off. I've fallen asleep playing that shit, and the next day I'll just pick up where I left off when I fell asleep because it's just there. Like the shit didn't move at all.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, I can come back 2-3 weeks later, still right there. We're still at that same spot.
Yeah, in the same fucking spot. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so that's a real cool feature that I feel like a lot of games are missing now, where they're always online, and that's kind of annoying. I mean, even though it's not an inconvenience because we all have internet, or most of us do. It's not an inconvenience. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's kind of like just an annoying little thing that happens. You know that like I guess for me it almost feels like when I was a kid, when I used to play video games as a kid. When I was a kid, man, younger, PS1, Nintendo 64, or the original Xbox or whatever. Like, video games didn't fucking really matter when you turned them off or on. It didn't matter to be online. You always just played shit by yourself. You were in the video game. You weren't part of the internet. You know what I mean? You enjoyed the video game because it was fun. You didn't enjoy the video game because it was a multiplayer experience. You didn't enjoy it because of your friends. Where I feel like nowadays, a lot of video games rely on that. They rely more on the interaction between you and other people than they do of actually being fun themselves. You know what I mean? A lot of games are that, like if you think of most games that are Battle Royale, they're really not fun. They really aren't. The fun part of a Battle Royale is really playing with your friends and
yes, I agree.
Seeing how far your friends can go with you. You know what I mean?
Well, it's the dopamine hit you get once every 3 days when you finally get a win.
Yeah, that too. Like, but okay, think about that, Brink. Out of all the times you've played by yourself with randoms, and say you played with Pigeon and myself and whoever, when have you had more fun? Playing with randoms or playing with your friends?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Playing with your friends, you're sitting there, you're bullshitting. You're sitting there and you're fucking making jokes and you're laughing at the dumb shit or something stupid, somebody did. You're like, oh, I can't believe you fucking jumped off that rooftop, dude. Like, what the fuck were you thinking? And it's like, oh, I don't know. I just fucking decided to do it. Or like, you're talking shit to each other because you're dropping in a hot zone or something. It's just, it's just there. Whereas before, like when we were younger, I'm looking at you, Gunny. When Gunny was like maybe 45.
Yeah.
Video games back in the day were way different, and I feel like the only company that continues that tradition in a way, or sort of like has kind of followed those trends, is Nintendo and PlayStation. They're kind of like, as much as PlayStation is kind of like they're keeping up with the Xbox, and they do adapt a lot of the shit Xbox does, and they do some stuff better, like PlayStation Plus games. They did that better than Xbox for a long time. Like these companies, they're more traditional, and it could be because they're Japanese-owned companies. You know what I mean? They're just sticking to traditions. Maybe their CEOs or the executives are like, no, we gotta stick to traditions. We gotta keep doing this.
Sometimes change is not always better.
And that could be true. And I think that's kind of true. And I think that's why Nintendo is always like, it's just a staple. It's never. I don't think it's ever gonna go away, and I don't think it's ever gonna die. I think PlayStation video games, or like the PlayStation brand, would die long before Nintendo would. That's how. I feel like how ingrained.
I feel like that would also be the last company to ever be bought up or merge with another company.
Nintendo,
you know what I'm saying? Nintendo, like they'd be like,
no,
Apple would want to come in. Hey, we want to give you. Hey, I'm Tim Cook. I want to give you $80 billion, man. What do you say?
Well,
no. We say no.
Nintendo has the ultimate nostalgia factor. It's been around so long, and they're always going to be able to pump out those classics and the remakes, and people are going to always buy them. They just came in at the right time.
They literally came in at the time where all their competitors died out. You know what I mean? Yeah. or they just waited for all of them to die out. Like the main competitor that was still around when Nintendo was kind of becoming big near the PlayStation 1 launch was Sega. And Sega was like the last old school brand, that was there competing against them in hardware. And they kind of just, at the end of the day, they called it quits, they're like, no, the Dreamcast failed. We're done.
Was it, I'm trying to think of what it was. It was something we've never talked about on this show that I recall, but I'm old and I forget things. But when video games almost died, I don't know, when was that? Was that just before Nintendo?
You're talking about
NES?
you're talking about when Atari like collapsed, pretty much.
Yeah, when that
like,
happened. Yeah,
like over in a span of like a few years, they pretty much went like fucking bankrupt, and
yeah. So
everyone was selling
that was
off.
before NES, I think.
Yeah, that was like in the early '80s. Yeah, yeah, that was that was like in 19. That was when ET came out.
Ah, good old ET. Yeah, bury them cartridges.
Yeah, that's when they made so many ET copies that like it just fucking failed.
This is definitely before my time because when I was a little kid, video games were just all the rage, man. Like,
well, he's not talking
was
about
so excited about Nintendo and every system after that, Sega, Super Nintendo. Arcades were like super huge. Like it was just an insane time for video games in the early '80s.
Yeah, that ET, that was that video game. That was
I might have played that game too. That ET game.
That game was rushed so fast, dude. They literally made that game in like 6 months or something. You know that?
Damn.
They legit like they made the game like I think they made it like in 6 months. it was like one of the most rushed video games ever in the history of the fucking world. Like they legit made this deal with like the fucking movie studio, and they're like, an ET game, okay, boom, and they just went and like said, no, we need to make an ET game. Fuck any other game you're doing right now, you're making an ET game, and they just like fucking went straight
threw something
hardcore.
together, yeah.
And they just threw something together, and it fucking flopped hard. Everyone hated it. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, the only thing I've been playing, man, is Pokemon. Oh, and I watched that movie Free Guy. I watched that.
Oh, how was that?
It was pretty funny. It was good. Ryan Reynolds does a okay job. Yeah, it's about this NPC dude who lives like in this video game, and the video game, he realizes he's in a video game or something eventually. It was actually pretty cool, and there's a lot of Easter eggs in there. There's a lot of like like you see some Halo shit in there. You see some like other video game shit in there. What else? There's there's a few streamers in there as well. Like a few streamers that are like.
Did you say Ninja was in there?
Yeah, they're showing like streaming the game, almost
probably
like talking about
Lyric
it.
and them.
Yeah, it was Ninja. It was I think it was somebody else. I know chick. What's her name? Pokemon. She was in there. Yeah, she was in there, and but they weren't in there for long. They were legit like
cameo,
like 5-second clips each. I think Ninja was the one that was in there the most. I think Pokemon appeared twice, and Ninja appeared like maybe 3 or 4 times. But it was just like legit. Each time was like maybe less than 5 seconds. I don't know how much they even got paid to do this. They probably got paid like nothing to do this. Almost. It was just like almost like promotion or something. You know what I mean? It was really weird. But yeah, it was a cool movie. It was funny. It was pretty funny. And the theater was kind of packed. I was surprised how many old people were there to watch this movie.
Yeah, apparently that movie is doing better than expected at the box office, and it also only released in theaters, which is unusual nowadays.
I'm surprised, Jesus, because when you said you were going to watch that movie, and I think it was on a Friday, was it on a Friday that you went to see it? Because, my job is at the, behind the movie theater, but, the parking lot was, it was only half full. So I was like, wait, did that movie come out already, on theater or not? Or only theater?
They were probably all there to only watch that movie. Like I said, the theater was pretty full in my area. Like, it's the most full I've seen it since COVID, since it reopened.
Yeah.
Because I tell you, every other fucking movie that I've watched, there's been like 4 people in the theater with us. And this time it was no, there was a lot of people there. There was people with their kids. There was people with old people. There was people by themselves. There was people everywhere.
Yeah, they probably did assigned seating and limited the number of people. I don't know.
No, not really. No, not really. No, it's just you just picked your seat.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that we were all back to mask again.
Oregon is too. Yeah. Oregon, statewide, we all have to wear masks again. Yay. Real fun.
Man.
Wow.
It's slowly starting to happen here. I imagine within a few weeks, it'll be the same.
Brink, what the hell's behind you moving?
Got a cat or a dog, cow?
Well, I do have 2 cats. I'm not sure
Oh,
what you're
okay.
seeing.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
there's a
I
screensaver on the TV back there.
I completely forgot you had cats.
Yeah. This is Pam right here behind me
Hi,
on
Pam.
the couch. She's
I was
blurred
like, what
out.
the fuck is moving back there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she
blurred.
looks like a cow, like a tiny cow.
I was like, isn't
I
this
was
dude
thinking
like,
spotted cow, but I just say cow.
I was like, is this dude home alone? Is there a fucking ghost? Is there a burglar in his house right now?
Yeah.
Are we gonna watch like a live burglary happen?
Oh,
See, Brink, it all starts with 1 cat. Next thing you know, you have 2. Next thing you know,
Hey,
you
Pam.
have 3. Next thing you
Yeah,
know, you're gonna have like 7.
I like the cats. I hate changing the litter box. And
You gotta buy that
cat hair, dude. Cat hair everywhere. It goes
gotta
everywhere. It's in your car. Like it's on my mouse mat. It makes me want to die.
You gotta buy that special cat litter box.
Okay,
The smart one.
Is that?
There's a smart
The ones
litter
that
box.
like clean themselves or like
Yeah,
or
like
just, like
it's like fucking Wi-Fi enabled and shit. Has RGB on it.
some shit that like Mayo would have in his apartment.
Yeah, it's like some RGB smart litter box. The cats will probably never use it.
I deliver a lot of those actually. They're huge, man. These big old giant
they're
boxes.
they're fucking huge. Yeah, but I think your cats would probably fucking hate it. They'd be like, this shit's stupid. I don't want to shit in that.
Well, they'd probably be scared of it because they'd hear like the machinery going and it'd freak them all out and they wouldn't want to go.
I don't want to fucking sit in there. I want to sit in there and take a shit. He's gonna fucking kill me. And you also, did you know that cats like their privacy when they're taking a shit?
Well, I mean, I guess, but
They
I don't
do.
know, not
They
really.
do. Have you ever sat there? Okay, look, where's your cat's litter box?
Okay, so I created my cat's litter box, and it's a giant.
Oh, I remember
you. It's a giant Rubbermaid container with a lid, and I cut a square into the side of it. So they walk into the litter box house, and then they turn right, and then there's like a couple feet where the litter can fall off as they're leaving, and then there's a litter box like back in the corner.
See, that's a perfect spot. You are a nice cat owner, because I'm telling you, cats love their privacy when they take a shit, and that probably feels very private to them, like their own space.
Owners like the privacy too. We don't want to see turds slipping out of cat butts.
Yeah, you ever sat there and watch a cat take a shit or something? They just sit there and they don't look at you. Like, you try to make eye contact with it, the motherfucker will look away. It's hilarious.
Walk over there and just stare into its eyes.
They like look away. It is the most awkward and funniest thing. It would be like you taking a shit and somebody walking up to you and just looking at you. Like,
yeah, I feel like, I mean, when are you most vulnerable, dude? It's when you're taking a shit. So I think every animal likes its privacy.
No, but cats, like, dogs don't care, dude. Dogs will sit there and like let you pet them and they don't give a fuck. Dogs are stupid.
Horses and cows, they don't give a fuck either. It just drops out.
Yeah. Horses just fucking poop wherever. They don't give a fuck.
But they're not vulnerable. They're still standing there all big and strong, you know. Whereas like
dogs, but listen, you ever watch dog poop? Like they don't give a fuck. They just shit anywhere. Like they don't give a fuck. They'll shit in the grass in front of you.
Well, sometimes they give a fuck. They'll like bury it a little bit, you know.
Dogs don't give a fuck. Cats. They're like, fuck you, bitch. Give me my privacy.
Dude, and like one time my cat shit on the floor, right? And then even though we picked up the shit, it kept like scratching at that spot, like trying to bury it. Like it sensed the shit there still and was trying to cover it up with something, but it's a hardwood floor. So it was just swiping at the floor for hours. It was the weirdest thing. It was like super OCD about it.
Yeah, they gotta bury their shit, bro. They're clean.
Yeah, they're very clean. Always
clean creatures.
You had a cat, right?
Yeah, I had a cat. He passed away, unfortunately.
You still have it? Okay.
Yeah, he passed away. Man. And then my other cat my other cat ran outside one day and never came back. But then he would come back.
Found that cat, huh?
No. Listen, that son of a bitch would come back, and I would feed him, and then he'd leave again, and then he'd come back like another day later, and
like a whore, just.
just fucking leave and come back. And he just like he knew where to come to get food, but he didn't give a fuck about living here. Huh? Yeah, he was like a
my
hobo
cats
cat.
have never been outside, and part of it makes me feel really bad, but I know once they go out there and see how big the world is, they're gonna try sneaking out every time I open the door. Growing up as a kid, I had several cats, and they all got ran over and shit. So I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, fuck that. That's sad. Yeah, but one day he never came back, dude. Like, I don't know what happened to him.
I remember that. That sucks, yeah.
Like, it sucks. Like, I don't know if he died or if he found a new family or somebody's
out there whooping ass and humping.
Or if no, dude, like, every time he would come back, he'd come back with, like, a new scar and shit. Like, what the fuck are you doing,
getting harder and harder.
Yeah, like, legit, but, like, the end, like...
What up?
Come back with tattoos next time.
He started like a little pussy cat, like a little like a home cat, like a little bitch. Like, oh, I'm a little fucking pussy cat, a little cat that stays at home and has a litter box. And then like over the time, like every once in a while he would just have like a new scar on his ear and shit. Like half his ear was like bit off and shit. Like motherfucker would come back like more hardcore every time. You know what I mean?
You see his ass on Shark Week.
By the end, he was just like this hard ass motherfucker. He like ran the block and shit, like he gained the respect of all the other cats. It was hilarious.
Like, where'd you get that tattoo? What the fuck?
Got an earring? What the hell?
Yeah, like the motherfucker was hilarious, dude. Oh yeah, man. He was a funny cat. He was a good cat though. He was always like he was this really black cat. And I don't know if you guys know this, but if you look at any black cat that's like all black, they're really never all black. You know that? They always have like a tiny white spot on them, like whether it's in their chest, in their paw, on their tail. Every black cat that's black will mostly have a white spot on it somewhere. And that is, you want to know why this happens, Gunny? Because let me give you a history lesson here, Gunny. Because back in the day, all right, the Pope declared that black cats were witches.
Oh, yeah. You couldn't. Wasn't there something about going under a ladder?
Listen. So he ordered the Catholic religion and all Christians pretty much to kill all the black cats in the world. So everyone in Europe at the time that were like part of the Catholic religion or the church or whatever, the Pope, they listened to the Pope. They all like believed them, all these kings and shit. They're like, okay, yeah, fuck yeah, let's kill the cats. Fucking witches. Crazy motherfucker. So they grabbed all the black cats and rounded them all up and just fucking killed them. But the Pope declared if the cat has a white spot on it, if the cat is not completely black, he has been marked by God to be spared and not murdered or killed. So, any cat that's black nowadays usually has like a little white spot on it, It's pretty wild, isn't it?
It's almost like we bred them that way, right?
Yes, we did pretty much.
So we'll never see a fully black cat, probably.
You might, but it's very fucking rare. Like, it's very, very, very super, super rare. Like, almost, like I said, almost every black cat, without fail, will have either like a very tiny white spot on it somewhere because they were all like pretty much bred that way. It's kind of a weird thing, right?
Yeah, that is interesting because I know that's what it was. It was bad luck for a black cat to walk under your ladder or just a cat. I don't know. I think it was a black cat.
The Pope declared them like fucking witches or something. They're the devil. Get them, boys. Yeah, it was kind of wild. Anyways.
My cat, Dwight, he's a tuxedo cat, so he mostly black when you look at him, but he's got that white stripe under his neck. You know what I mean? So it's like he's tuxedo. But anyways.
Brink, you sound weird, Brink. You sound like very far away.
Oh, do I?
Oh, is your
microphone switched? Technical difficulties there. But see, even Brink's cat, it's not all black. It has like white on it because I'm telling you, motherfucker, every black cat will have a little white spot on it or or it's half white or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gunny?
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens, bro. Mic check, Brink. No. Say something. Say something.
No, it's still coming
No.
through the camera.
Yeah, you sound far away. You sound like your camera's working. Broke your microphone. Broke it. Anyways, we'll move on here. Gunny, what have you been playing?
Oh, let's see. Boy. Oh, so I played that Back for Blood beta
Is it good? All I hear is bad things
Saturday.
about this.
No, so I didn't play too much Left 4 Dead 2 when it was on the 360. I played it a few times. I think I didn't even buy it till later on, because I think like I might have bought one disc for my kids' Xbox 360, but I never bought it for my Xbox 360 anyway. But yeah, it definitely feels like it, because one of the cool things was it does have what is it, crossplay? So it was 3 of us on Xbox, just random people, and one guy was on Game Pass on PC. Because I was like, "Hey, are you playing like a Steam version?" He goes, "No, just the Xbox version or whatever on the PC." So, because you can see the symbol, right? Because I wasn't sure what he was playing from, but and yeah, like he was pretty knowledgeable. Like we were like, "Oh, is that the smoker or the boomer or whatever?" Like, yeah, that's the equivalent, but it's called something else. And
It's
but it
it's
was
kind it's kind of just Left 4 Dead, though, isn't it? I mean, I was surprised at how little they innovated on what Left 4 Dead had to offer.
You have to think that it's the same developer, and they probably wanted to make the same game or Left 4 Dead 3 for a while. They just couldn't name it Left 4 Dead 3.
Yeah,
yeah.
but even
One of the
if they made a
things,
third one, they'd still have to improve on the other one. I mean, the graphics for sure are improved. It's quite beautiful, and
I hear
it ran really well
Mhm.
too.
they implemented this card system. Is that true?
Yeah, so here's what it is with the card system. What little I do know about it, because that was the one thing that I remember when that was even announced. I was like, "Hey, what the hell is this? What's this nonsense? Is it like a Gears of War type thing? Something I was used to, like where I'm upgrading these cards. You know what I mean?" So yeah, I still don't know how these are going to be implemented in the game, and something I'm always optimistic about, right? Because if I'm paying, well, I know this is on Game Pass. I'm just saying, if I'm paying 40, yeah, how does this even work? But they were nothing more than like, they felt like just more, perks and buffs and um, things like that. So I'll just tell you like my experience, okay? So, and not knowing anything about the cards was where, you start out and then you choose from like one of 3 cards. One can be like, more team health, more stamina, more ammo, carry more ammo, right? Stuff like that. So I think they try to make it less confusing. It's not so much about just for you as it is for your team. So I guess even if you're playing, a single player game, right? It's still that equal amount of whatever that card is, right? Like, okay, I choose, 5% more stamina, in running, right? I can run faster or something or longer. So it doesn't matter. It's always for you or what's best for the team, right? So
Yeah.
there's that. And I didn't get to really screw around with it for too much, because I think once you kind of add it to your deck, it's just there. It's not like I could go in, remove it. Maybe I could, right? Because we were just kind of going through the game like map after map after map. So one of the cool things was, and again, I'm sorry if I'm playing on the Xbox Series S with a controller. So that's where I played it at. Yeah, and it definitely felt, that Left 4 Dead style type thing where, some areas you're running through, right? And, you're mowing down enemies, and then there's some areas where, oh yeah, you have to blow up this like, this like gas pipe or whatever, and then obviously like a big giant horde will come out and you got to kill them all, or you got to run away or something, right?
got a
get
question.
to the next objective. It's just.
I got a question. For me, I really like that game, World War Z. You've played it. We've all played it. Is this game better or worse than World War Z?
Hard to tell. Hard to tell because I only played. God, I did play a good amount of this beta too.
Tell me, is it better or worse in terms of like? Is it just better or worse?
I'm just gonna, for me personally, I'm gonna say it's worse. Maybe not worse, like objectively, but it just felt less fun to me than World War Z does.
World War Z is fucking wild at times. You got these zombies dropping.
Yeah,
it's like ant wheels, you know.
World War Z, there's a sea of zombies. It's like a freaking living thing sometimes.
Yeah.
That doesn't actually make any sense now I think about it. But you knew what I meant.
Yeah, I know.
But you know what, Brink? I really liked all these weapons in Back 4 Blood. I like
the weapons.
Is there a lot? Yeah. Is there a lot of weapons? Is there more like? Okay, because I remember in Left 4 Dead there was like maybe like 7 weapons in total.
There were like 7, right? Where this one's more. There's a lot more. There's probably, I don't know. I'm just gonna maybe throw it out there, maybe 30 or something. But
wow,
because it's probably 3 or 4 different kinds of pistols, 5, 7 different kinds of fucking
Have either of you played Left 4 Dead somewhat recently?
The new one or the last one?
It's been a long time.
I know there's still a community for it.
I for some reason when I remember that game in my head, I felt like the pathing and the moving through the maps was a little more open than Back 4 Blood is. And Back 4 Blood, it feels so linear. Like in some areas, it's literally like a 10-foot wide path that your whole team's going down, and it feels like that for much more of the time than you would expect. Like it needs some more big open areas with zombies coming from all directions. You can see them in the distance, like something crazy like that.
You know how like in Left 4 Dead, I think one of the many things that made that game great was where it gives you that illusion that it is a big area. Right, where this one makes it known that it's like a square, right? You get to play in the square until you've beaten all the enemies, and then you get to move on, or you get to turn the crank on the fucking a crane or something, right? And then
because even World War Z does that. World War Z has a there are levels where they're pretty linear. You're going down this tunnel or whatever, but then there's levels where like you're like on a city block, and there's actually like a couple of different paths you can take through the city block. Your team can actually get split up. Yeah. Because some of you go right and some of you go straight. You know what I mean? Like your teams can actually get split up and shit. And next thing you know, you guys are being attacked from different directions, and you guys split up and go help each other or whatever. And World War Z does that pretty good. To me, it sounds like World War Z copied Left 4 Dead 2, did it a little bit better. Added the World War Z name to it.
Right.
And it seems like Back 4 Blood is trying to do that, but maybe they've lost like the magic. You know what I mean? It's just
so I think
let's be real here. Let's be real here. Left 4 Dead was fun. Left 4 Dead 2 was more fun, but think about video games since then till now. Left 4 Dead 2 came out in like 2008 or something, dude. Think about the evolution of video games from 13 years ago to now. Since then, we've had Skyrim, we've had GTA 5, we've had Red Dead, we've had Metal Gears, we had Death Stranding, we've had all these fucking crazy games that have come out that have innovated so much that like maybe they're just too old school. Maybe it just doesn't feel good anymore.
Well, and to be fair, Jesus, to be on their side a little bit, I think, what is it called? Turtle Rock Studios, right? That's the name of it. Aren't they just a AA studio in a way? Like they're not AAA trying to innovate, but
it's AA with AAA experience. It's pretty much the same developers that made Left 4 Dead 2. They all left Steam or whatever or Valve and made their own
one of the
studio.
things I think, if you ask me, like this card system and the classes, right? like each class, like the class that I played in this beta I played Mom. I forgot her name, but she's just an old white lady. Her name's Mom. Don't mess with Mom. But she had like a quick revive. That was like her main perk. So, wow, that really came in handy. So maybe if you had a good team and you're playing on hardcore, and you've got a good weapon and a good deck built out to where it's like stamina and health and weapon damage, maybe that's the whole. But I see what you're saying. This is what Turtle Rock did, right? To keep the replayability there. All those things I just mentioned, right? That's going to keep you coming back.
To give the game credit for some of the things that did well. For example, I love that they just pumped up the gory factor. Like there's just blood everywhere. And by the end of the round, your whole team is so soaked and covered in blood that you start to think they're zombies.
You keep shooting them almost, right?
Yeah.
Or you're like, weapon, team damage.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I thought you were a zombie, because they'll just walk right in front of you covered in blood, just looking all fucked up. So
especially your AI characters, Oh, the AI is dumb as shit, Jesus. They are fixing that. That's something that's definitely a little buggy. They'll jump in front of you. Like, we made it almost to the end of the entire chapter, and it was just me and the guy who was playing on PC. And like, they were like hopping up and down like bunnies, the AI characters. Like they take over. And they're covered in blood, so I'm like, I keep shooting them. I'm like, get the fuck out of my way. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's terrible.
It is cool though how the AI will run with you, but as soon as someone joins, they just warp right into that AI and take over.
Yeah. It is. It's cool.
Maybe maybe I'm older now, or like Jesus said, it was the timing of Left 4 Dead, but I feel like maybe this game is just a little less intense, a little less scary than Left 4 Dead was. I think the bosses are a little less scary. Like the zombies that are crawl on walls and jump out at you, or the ones that spit at you, they're all just a little less scary than the ones that were in Left 4 Dead. But I think it is a really well done game. They did a good job. They just could have maybe added a little.
It's old school, man. Like, it's just. I think we've seen it too many times.
Then again, maybe they're being careful. They didn't want to add like, what are those things called where they pull you with the tongue? Is it a liquor or whatever the fuck? Maybe I read a lot of zombie books, but you know what I mean? Like they take you and then if you die, you gotta go to a room like in Left 4 Dead and unlock the room to revive them. That's what revives them. But maybe they didn't want to just keep it same old.
They do little things like that in Back 4 Blood. Like you can get sort of like held by a zombie, and your teammate has to come up and melee it for it to let you go. Or you can, like, if you're walking on a bridge, you could fall off the side and your character will be hanging on like the edge.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Somebody has to come over and help you up. Like there's little things here and there that are neat.
And just to kind of add to that, Jesus, like what Brink just mentioned, there are like cards that you can get to say like, oh, if you get grappled, which I haven't seen, by the way, because I think we played on easy mode. It was all baby mode. That's the lobby I joined purposely. And I think I had 3 difficulties, like regular, hard, and insane or something. But like you can say like, now you can break free when you're grappled, whatever, because that card's activated. Okay. That's the card you chose, or like, oh, you fell over a ledge, but you can pull yourself up. Kind of, I don't know. It's not very fun, right? When you think about it, like, I need a fucking card for that. It's kind of silly, right? But yeah, they made cards for that.
I barely touched the cards, to be honest, because I jumped into a game and we were moving so fast, and as soon as we'd finish one map, we'd immediately start the next, and like I would open the card menu and look at it and just be like, I don't know what the hell's going on here. So
I think it just goes automatically with your deck, right? When you choose one. Whatever, you get to choose from 5 or something.
Well,
5 or 6 cards.
Fun. I'll play this game on Game Pass.
Yeah. Can't beat it. If it's part of your subscription, do it.
What else have you played?
I played some Diablo 3. I know, I'm supposed to be playing that on Xbox. I've got a level 29 Necromancer. And I've been working on this character for quite a while. I'm trying to get it to level 70. And I want to get the achievement for that playing on hardcore, man. So playing on hardcore, it still doesn't feel. I'm sure I'll probably get my ass handed to me towards the end. So I know I've mentioned it before, but I have tried getting this achievement probably a couple of years ago. But what happened was I left my lobby open, so somebody joined. And what happens is it's almost like Borderlands or any other game where, like Division 2 or something. If somebody joins and they're a higher rank, boom, like it automatically kicked the difficulty up, and I died in like 2 seconds. So I made sure like I got my lobby locked down. Nobody can join. Invite only. Yeah. So probably eventually I'll get there to level 70. The but it's probably my least favorite character. I think because I don't know, I feel like I don't have it built right for each ability where like when I play Barbarian or some other character, it's pretty straightforward. Like, you're Barbarian, you've got a sword, right? And it's right trigger, and you can use all the other abilities for every other thing. Where I feel like the Necromancer is maybe a little more versatile, I think, where I'm always so used to pressing A or, our right trigger, where that's the main weapon, but everything else is, depending on what you got it mapped to, right? They could just be like buffs where, okay, I'll take less damage by pressing B, and that cooldown's, pretty quick. But yeah, I need to do more damage on other enemies where, like, I equipped like this ice golem. That thing's like badass, right? So it's always there, it's always with you, and it's throwing out, all this ice and shit on enemies, and it's just fucking wreaking havoc, and they're blowing up from other abilities and that I have equipped, and it's a little overwhelming, I guess is what I'm saying, Jesus. But overall, it's just I'm having a blast just going through the game again, for like probably my 4th or 5th time. So yeah, there's that.
Are you going to play the Diablo 2 remaster?
So I got to pre-order the game, right? So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. When does the game? Is it October or something, or September, October? But I've been kind of avoiding spoilers on it a little bit, only because I never played the original, or 2. But yeah, I'm sure eventually I will pick that up. And I'm, in me, it's a true dungeon crawler, man. I'll probably get in there and just play 100 hours, like over time. I'll be talking about that game for like 2 years straight, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've never played 1 or 2 either. Just 3 is when I discovered that type of game, and it's definitely an awesome game. So I'm curious about 2.
Yeah. So, because 3, man, if you get like another buddy in there, you guys want to run rifts, like those can be pretty addicting. Like you can just make it harder and harder and harder. Like it just possibilities are endless, especially on PC. I've noticed I was watching a stream and they had like these custom builds and custom, like the difficulty was just insanity. Yeah, but it was just fun to watch. Shit you can't do on a console. But yeah, that's what I'm playing on my Xbox with a controller. Yeah, I just always been on the fence about buying that thing on PC, Like, God, well, I just put way more time into it. Oh, here's the other thing I've been playing is Borderlands 3. Because me and Ryan, we were talking about buying the season pass. They were all on sale. So he bought season pass number 1, which is just the season pass, and then I bought season pass number 2. So we're thinking like, okay, because we game share, right? But no, the game does not let you. It will not let you share DLC for the game, which kind of shitty. So, right, of course, he ended up buying number 1. Eventually, he bought. So now he has all the season passes. I'm sure I will. That's yeah. What am I playing? Amara the Siren. I think I'm probably level 13 or 14 now. So, because I had my other character
Siren,
up to like,
she's badass, man.
Yeah, that phase cast, like that. She'll put her hand up like this and just, like, just does a ton of damage on an enemy.
Yeah, like she'll just like put a huge fist up from the ground and latch onto an enemy, and then all the enemies around take extra damage, and like she can be pretty devastating for sure.
Yeah. So I forgot what the last character I even played when I finished the main story, but I had it up to like level 53 or whatever. So I've only got a few characters in that game going.
Which one's your favorite so far?
I'm gonna say the Siren right now. That's funny. I'm trying to think of whoever it was that I had before. Gosh, what did he have? He had like maybe other people had the ability to clone themselves.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, whoever that guy was.
What's that guy's name?
It's been a minute since I played that character, but yeah. Um yeah, but it's just like, hey, go through the story again. I haven't tried anything else. Brink, have you tried anything else like a PvP style type thing? Or I know they got different events going and
No, no, I haven't really done much else other than beat the campaign.
yeah. It's kind of crazy, right? I've never even seen gameplay on it. I know that there is like a PvP thing that exists. I don't know if it's 1v1 or
interesting.
4v4 or what it is, but yeah,
Maybe,
I
yeah.
wouldn't. It's just something that wouldn't surprise me if they had a battle royale next. Like new update.
Oh
You know,
god, that'd be crazy.
that
Borderlands
would
world
be.
with all those crazy abilities.
Yeah, my kid walked in that room, and it's always gives a different perspective where he's like, it would be awesome if we had like this game, but one big gigantic map. And I'm like, wait, are you talking like Borderlands MMO? And he's like, no, just one big giant map instead of fast traveling. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know about that. Like, if we had portals, maybe. How about that? Portals in Borderlands. Like, we were just kind of like, yeah, just goofing off.
When
But I thought that would be sick.
you know that new Tiny Tina like spinoff game that's coming out?
Yeah.
Uh, I started watching the trailer for that, and I got really excited because I thought they were gonna do just like a melee, like what they do now with shooters, but do it with melee. Like I thought they were making like a medieval melee RPG style of game, and I just thought that would be really unique if they did something like that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then
Like, instead of
they
gun, like
showed
maybe
some
clubs
guns at
and
the end. Yeah, they
yeah.
showed like Diablo, but first person.
There you go.
But yeah, they
That'd be
showed some
unique. Yeah.
guns. So I think it's going to be another shooter with magic type of game.
Yeah. Give some of that close contact. Yeah. Some melee weapons would be awesome. Fucking add it all, 2K, whatever those people are, that guy. Um, but yeah, the other than that, I tried out some silly games on Game Pass. Art of Rally. Just it's just a top-down, cartoony racing game. Nothing special. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't really recommend it, but I only made it to like the second map or whatever, and busted out a few achievements on it, and then I was like, yeah, I think I'm probably not going to play this game anymore. So yeah, there's that. But man, if you love achievements, definitely go play that game. Might be worth it, but not for me. The other thing I got was I went to CD Keys and I found a code for Orcs Must Die 3. I think it was like $10 or something. So I thought, oh, perfect. This game's probably 30 or $40 on Steam or, I don't even know if it's on console. It probably is, but the other two came out on there. But yeah, so I played it on Steam with my Xbox controller, my Cyberpunk controller. And yeah, it's just Orcs Must Die 1 and 2. That's it. Seriously. Like it just had the same shit in it. Maybe they added more. I tried watching streams to see if they innovated or added something else, but I think it's got local co-op and maybe I think it's just 2-player, basically. 1 to 2 people. But yeah, I don't think it's any different. I think it's like 39 or $40. So it's not quite a full price game. And yeah, I only played like maybe an hour. It'll be something I just play occasionally. So, also Hades. I tried it out. It's good, like everybody says, and it looks really good. You're meeting all the different gods, and yeah, it's that But I think I put too much time into Diablo. Maybe yesterday that I was like, okay, another one of these games. I'm like, all right, maybe I just need to wait a little while before I jump back into it. So I'll
Is it
chill on that
similar
one.
to Diablo?
Hmm?
Is it like similar? Like you said,
Yeah,
one of
it kind
these
of
games.
reminded me of it, right? Like, and yeah, and I was looking at that, and then I was like, oh, maybe I have also installed is that. What the hell is that game? Boyfriend Simulator? I don't know. Some kind of boyfriend dungeon or some shit.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some controversy over it, right? Let's see. What the hell was it? Boyfriend Dungeon. Yeah. So, and I was looking at that and I'm like, okay, another isometrical top-down hack and slash game. I was like, yeah, I think I'll just wait on that one. I can only play so many. And yeah, I just left it up for maybe if I just played a few hours of SnowRunner because that one I can just play all day. I'll fucking play that for 20 hours. I don't give a shit. Just driving around in the mud,
Yeah.
driving all the different trucks in the mud, dragging trucks, dragging trailers. Got my country music going on my Spotify. Well, you guys heard rap. Maybe I was playing some rap today. But
There's definitely some rap happening.
but yeah, just a lot of console gaming on the Xbox. And a little bit, just Orcs Must Die 3 on Steam. So, yeah, not too much on the Xbox Game Pass PC version, even though I downloaded all these games. But yeah, a lot of it is now like available on the console itself. So I want to be able to play that on my OLED TV where it looks better. Only getting 30 frames, or 60 in some cases, but still, sometimes I make a compromise, Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't have to have all the frames. But that's all I've been playing.
Yeah.
What about you, Brink?
Well, I have basically only played one game this week because I've been dying all week long. So like I tried to play, but I would immediately like feel nauseous, so then I'd lay down on the couch and then end up just staring at the ceiling all night instead. But I did finally, it's funny that you mentioned it earlier. I finally went back to Horizon Zero Dawn, which I've been putting it off. Well, firstly, I put playing that game off for so long. Like I always thought it looked neat, and then I was super excited when it was coming out to PC, but I just never got around to picking it up until a couple months ago. And it's surprisingly a lot. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. It's it's a really well done game. A lot of people said it gets really long and kind of gets boring, and some people recommended to skip like the side missions if you thought you could be somebody who that would happen to. So I did, because generally I will get bored of huge open world games. So I skipped all the side missions and just sort of beeline the main story, and I thought the story was just fantastic.
Yeah, me too. That was
Uh,
definitely a really good story. That was the one thing that kind of tripped me up. I think I was just not like expecting a really good story where, yeah,
it,
talking to whatever your dad or whatever, going, what the fuck? Why am I here? Why, why do I need to stay here? And then all the shit that happened after that was just, yeah, I was not expecting that.
yeah, the story
Without
definitely
giving out spoilers.
it definitely felt like a series that on Netflix that I would binge. You know what I mean? Like it was just
Yes.
I kept playing, just anxious to see the next cutscene and see what happened. And as far as the game, like the game was very beautiful, and there were definitely like some vistas where I would stop Aloy and just look around and be like, damn, that looks sick. Um, and the gameplay itself, it was fine. Like it didn't blow me away. It was good enough that I had fun while I was in combat. I had some edge of my seat moments, fighting a couple of the big boss robots, the sweaty armpits, that type of thing. It was challenging. There were definitely some challenging bits. I died, You know, it was good. The game, it was a solid game. It reminded me of like Tomb Raider, but with robot dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, it's a good way to look at it.
But Aloy was likable, and I think what really carried that game was the story. It was just really well written, and they nailed the atmosphere. And yeah. So, anyways, I just finally finished that, and I'm glad I came back and finished it. So, and really, other than that, I haven't played shit, man. Other than like 10 minutes of Borderlands 3 before I joined this video call. So
yeah,
it's funny that you also mentioned that game.
Yeah, speaking about getting dizzy, I was playing that game I just mentioned, the fucking Art of Rally game. I don't know, there was something about it where, like, why is this game like, it was almost like this top-down, arcadey racer game that was like, why is it making me nauseous? I don't know. Maybe that's what I didn't like about it.
Sometimes it just hits your eyes right, hits the corners of your eyes right, or like, it's a certain, maybe the frame rate is just right with the speed of the movement that it just, I don't know. But I don't know about you. I get motion sickness. Like I get seasick really bad if I go out on a boat or something. I'll get it.
I think.
Go ahead.
I was going to say now I think I know what it is where, like, when you're in a car, you're not looking straight, right? But you're looking down at your phone and the car is moving, right? And it just, yeah, like that. So I think that's what it was, where I was always looking straight down at it, because you don't really get that you can't really get that view permanent. I know this game's not designed to be that way, but I was like, yeah, this game's not for me. You got a bad fucking camera angle. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a field of view, I find, can definitely make a big difference as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, and I doubt there was a setting for it. It was just the way it was designed. And it's Game Pass, man. I can just uninstall it and move on. Go play some Forza.
Jesus, you played some Horizon Zero Dawn, right? But just didn't finish it, or
I never finished it. No, I played it.
Okay.
I got pretty far in it, actually.
I was just telling Gunny that was basically the only game I played this week. So, but it's a really good game. I'm gonna try and find a PS5 so I can play the sequel if PS5s ever actually exist again.
Right now, the last thing I heard was rumor had it that the shortages for both consoles will go on until 2023.
I know that number keeps going up and up. Like, before you know, it'll be 2024, 2025. Yeah, like
before you know it, they'll announce the PS5 and the Xbox Series 2 or whatever the fuck. Yeah,
crazy.
That's why they're gonna have to just keep making games that are cross-gen. Yep. They're never gonna be able to make full next-gen games.
I was gonna say, Brink, I think Horizon, whatever, it's not Forbidden West. Is that the newest one that's going to be coming out?
Yeah, it's Forbidden West, right?
Forbidden West, yeah. So I want to say they already, a while ago, announced that for the PS4.
Yeah.
That it would be coming.
Yeah,
like, that's a bad sign, right?
PS4 Pro,
yeah,
that might be an okay experience, but
it's almost alarming, right, when they do that, because you're like, oh shit, like that just kind of tells you, like, there might be 10 million PS5s out there, but there may not be enough player base,
That's the shitty part, is that these old consoles are gonna hold everything back, man. And I think one of the greatest examples we've seen on that this generation is Cyberpunk.
Yeah, dude.
I think that was the first example of seeing a developer focus on top spec hardware like a PC.
Fuck, dude, Cyberpunk even held PCs back.
Yeah, and having
PCs were held back from themselves. That's how hard that game is to run.
Exactly, and they had to make it run on an Xbox One. Like,
would you say that was the most overhyped game this generation?
Oh yeah.
Oh, hey, right? Yeah. Can you disagree on that one? Like, none of this is a bad game. It's a great game, but still overhyped.
Anyways, let's move on to some news. It's news time.
Breaking news.
Speaking of Cyberpunk, Gunny. Cyberpunk is getting an update. That's right.
Am I getting the enhanced, upgraded console?
You already have that.
Console? No, not yet. It's not out yet.
Well, I don't know. But patch 1.3, oh yeah. It's coming with new features ahead of the next gen upgrade. This features will add better dialogue options and UI options during the mission when you go to the Clouds club or whatever, the sex club, and you pick between Sky and the other character. That's the guy, Angel,
the dude.
Yeah, they're saying they're gonna make the names more visible throughout the choice, like you can actually see who's who. Also, they're gonna update the minimap, so when you're driving, the minimap is a little bit more zoomed out, so you don't get lost as easily. Also, they're gonna add more changes, apparently, to the game. I don't know, other shit, just little quality of life fixes. I believe one of them is also you can reset your perks easier now. It's going to be cheaper. They're going to lower the cost of resetting your actual perks, so you can respec your character. I believe
that's cool.
Your main attributes will not be changed. So those are the attributes you pick in the beginning of the game. But the perks that you put into the game, like the points you put into your character, you can actually respect those and change them up if you want.
Nice.
Yeah. And more stability changes as well. That's pretty much it at this point.
So no DLC is what you're saying.
No, they've pretty much said they've canceled all the DLC until they fix the game for the consoles, they said. So they said that they were going to release a multiplayer this year and DLC, but they've canceled both of those to focus on fixing the game, and then they're going to decide if they're going to make DLC for it or not.
All priorities, Brink. These are all priorities.
Yeah. I mean,
get them in order.
Personally, I wish there was DLC because I really like the game, and there's been moments where I thought, man, I should go back and replay that, see how much better it runs now, because I heard it runs pretty good now on the PC. Like, they've really done a good job in updating it quite a bit. But I don't know. I mean, and there's also a lot of shit in the game that I'm always watching on YouTube, like people finding crazy, like, little shit. It's like if you go here and you do this, you find this, and it's like, whoa, I didn't know that. Like, I want to go and do it myself, but it's like, I don't want to go into Night City. I don't want to go into Night City, man.
Come on, get back in there.
Night City's dope, dude.
It's cool though.
Get some DLC out. That game is it's weird that I have to say it's underrated.
It is. Like, it's really good. Yeah, it's a good game. Like, it's fun as fuck to be in that world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you
like
look
past
the
every car is unique.
It.
All the cars are like the interior of each car, each dashboard is fucking unique. Everything is like, there's a lot of details in that game that other games don't have. Every time I hear like these updates that they're making little changes, I'm like, I can't wait to see what this game is going to be like in 2 or 3 years. When they
I was going to say 2 years. Give it that, because
when they fully finish it and release DLC for it, I can't wait to see that Cyberpunk, because that's going to be pretty much the Cyberpunk they kind of promised. You know what I mean? It's almost like The Witcher.
Cyberpunk GTA Online, basically, is what it could become.
And like, it's almost like The Witcher. If you look at The Witcher, The Witcher 3 and that shit, especially The Witcher 3, the one that became really popular. That one, when it first came out, was a buggy fucking mess. It took them quite a bit, actually, to get that game to the state that it is now. And people seem to forget that. And I think the reason people seem to forget that is because when The Witcher 3 came out, it didn't come out to a lot of fanfare. You know what I mean? It didn't come out to a lot of hype. The hype for that game didn't really start until after it was already out. When people realized how good the game actually was, then the hype kind of began for it. But it wasn't never, ever like, as hyped as this game was. This game, when was the first time Cyberpunk was shown? Wasn't it shown like in 2013 or something?
A decade ago?
Yeah, it was shown like in
ago.
like E3 2012 or something. It was shown like way long ago. Remember that? Everyone was like, "Whoa, what the fuck was that?" Like Spider Lady with all the sword arms and shit coming out of her hands, and you're like, "What the fuck is this?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, this is a concept video for a new game, Cyberpunk." And it's like, "What the fuck? Fuck your Witcher, bring that out," you know?
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it seems like people forgot that like The Witcher came out to like kind of like people were sort of hyped for it, but not really. People really didn't know about what the fuck it was. Like, what the hell is this Witcher shit? You know? And they kind of fixed it over time. But
yeah,
didn't
Witcher.
the first two
So
games
fun.
do okay in The Witcher?
the first, yeah, they
Yeah,
did, but
they
on
had-
PC, they did very well. But on the
But I want
console,
to say they had something I bought Brink, but I never I played so much Skyrim at this. I'll never forget. I played so much Skyrim that when it was, I think it was called The Witcher 2 something of Kings. And I think that was like an Xbox version, an Xbox 360 version. Assassins of Kings or something like that,
Yeah.
right? And
That
I
was
think
the
I
name of the
bought
king.
it.
That was the name of the king. That was the name of the game.
Yeah, and I think I can't remember if I bought the disc or like a digital version of it. And I know I played it like an hour. I was like, okay, God, I'm so burned out. I played like 80 hours of Skyrim. Like I can't do this, you know? And then Witcher 3 came out. I was like, okay. Yeah. On Next Generation, I was like, I gotta buy that.
Assassin of Kings is the second game, and The Wild Hunt is the third one. That's what it's called. Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt.
Yeah.
Gunny,
There was like some kind of,
did you beat Witcher 3?
Yeah, I did actually. I got to the end where
I never beat it.
is the end where you fight the bad guys. They show up to the tower or whatever, the Witcher castle house place.
Well, yeah, that's like the beginning of the end. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Oh,
I think I got past that. Yeah, they show up and like you're there with Yennefer and you're there with Triss and you're there with Ciri and you're there with the dude who's with, I forget his fucking name, the other Witcher guy, and you're all fighting the monster guys and you're like telling each character what to do or something and like, you know.
So what game do you say is superior?
To The Witcher 2?
Cyberpunk? No, Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk. What's a better game?
I'm gonna go with The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 is superior in terms of just the storytelling and the scope of the game. It's so much grander than Cyberpunk.
Like
the reason though,
DLC?
yes, without the
it's just
the game is it's. Yeah. But I'm always gonna say this, and I'm always gonna defend Cyberpunk. Witcher was based off of books. They had the lore and the shit to go off of the books. And they had 2 other previous games that can build the story upon. Cyberpunk is literally like something they just fucking made up. You know what I mean? It's I don't think Cyberpunk is like a thing. Like I mean Cyberpunk is a thing, right? Like the theme is a thing, but like I don't think it's like a fucking comic book or like a fucking book or anything like that, you know what I mean? I think they made books based off the game. There's actually books out there now you can actually buy that are based from the lore of the game, but there's no like there wasn't. It's not like The Witcher, you know, where like you had a series of books that some fucking dude wrote the story and story about Geralt and all this Witcher shit and all this stuff. You know what I mean? They don't have like all that lore and all that background to go off of. That's why I give Cyberpunk a lot of credit because they really built a cool fucking world there.
Isn't it also their first attempt at a first-person game, and also at a shooter?
Yes, so both of those are pretty. Yeah, those are new attempts for them, and I feel like they did an okay job with the shooting. It's not the greatest; it does feel a little clunky at times. You know, we always said that, but
off, but it's sometimes really satisfying too when it hits the mark.
But I feel like that was also clunky in the beginning was because you had to put points into the weapons or whatever, you know, like you had to put points into
that plus the controller, the way the controller was set up was strange. I know they put out some updates that sort of address that.
Yeah. So I give him credit for that. Like, I love Cyberpunk, man. Like, that world to me is incredible. Like, they really did a fucking cool job with it. And I like the characters. I like the dude who died and he's in your fucking head, Johnny. All that shit's fucking cool to me. I'm like, that's fucking cool, man. Like, just the thought of all that was fucking dope. And then the ending was kind of cool. You know, it was all kind of like cool. I just wish it didn't end that way because I don't want my character to die, but whatever. Like, whatever.
Yeah, you just can't get lost in it for as long as you can get lost in the picture.
Yeah, literally. That's the only problem. Yeah. That's the only problem.
We need an endless mode here, CD Projekt Red. That's what we're saying.
But yeah, that game is dope. Anyways, other things that are news here. Let's move on to some more news, guys. There's some Nintendo news here. Owner of Vanquish ROM site isn't even allowed to play Nintendo ROMs anymore. That's right. ROM Universe owner Matthew Storman continues to find himself in hot water with Nintendo, with the company now banning him from ever bringing his site back, or even playing any Nintendo ROMs. Storman was sued by the company back in May, a case which he represented himself in. That's pretty fucking dumb. It ended pretty badly for him, with Storman being ordered to pay $2.1 million in damages. The fine was sectioned into bite-sized $50 a month charges. Okay, let's do the math here, guys. Get a calculator out, boys. 2 million.
It shows it at the bottom.
Divided by, that's 42,000 months.
42,000. Jeez.
Divide that by 12 months in a year. That's 3,500 years.
Okay. Well, he'll have it paid off in no time.
Yeah, he'll have it paid off in no time, right, Brink? Yeah.
I like this article where he. Okay, so it says here. Wait, I think it keeps going, but it talks about him. I assume he probably comes on some sort of social media like Twitter. Says, "Hey, I want to put the website back up," and like Nintendo's just like, "Fuck me," right? Like, this guy will not stop, you know? Like, he just, like, what do we do, man? We just like, you know, even though like he owes 2.1 million, it's going to take him 3,500 years, but he's still at it, you know? Just love that he's just rubbing that salt in that wound, you know? I'm going to make it happen.
3,500 years. 50. What I want to know is, how much money does this dude make for the judge to agree to $50 a month? You know, he must not make.
He probably has nothing. You know, he probably has maybe collects Social Security
or something.
He's probably on some sort of disability.
Yo, bro, you gotta pay $50 a month for 3,000 years. Your family is now in debt to the Nintendo family.
Yeah, and your kids.
Yeah, your family is now owned by Nintendo for like the next 4 generations. Good luck. You know what I mean? God damn.
I'm pretty sure the Earth will be swallowed by the sun before that's ever paid off.
Supernova. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Fucking A.
Speaking of more news, some more news. The Last of Us 2, there was a multiplayer data mine, and this YouTuber actually found some actual pretty cool files in the data mine that he did on The Last of Us 2. So for one, this data mine revealed that, in fact, Naughty Dog was working on a multiplayer mode for the game. They actually had a map made for the multiplayer mode, which was actually a pretty big map, and it almost reveals that the multiplayer mode was going to be a battle royale mode. In this file data mining thing, they found a few weapons in the game, or a few items that you could use in this multiplayer. One of them was called a remote TV, which was like no one knows what that would be used for. Maybe a distraction or a lure to like lure zombies to a certain location. There was also some kind of visor you could put on, and this visor apparently lets you use the remember in the game how you have that mode where you can, I think you click on the touchpad or something, or the 2 thumbsticks, and Ellie crouches, and you can have like the listening mode, and you can see the zombies like in black and white, kind of like where they're walking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So apparently that was in this multiplayer mode if you picked up this item. There was also this item called the dog collar, which apparently maybe it was used to capture a dog, or you can like somehow trap a dog and make it yours and use it in the multiplayer. No one really knows because this multiplayer never came out. Apparently, Naughty Dog said they are working on a multiplayer mode for The Last of Us 2. Now, is it going to be a Battle Royale mode like this map and all these items and all this shit kind of hints at? Nobody really knows. Everyone doubts it. Everyone thinks it's going to be more traditional team deathmatch and whatnot like it was in The Last of Us 1. I mean, really,
Why not
like
both?
It could be both. You know, like they could really do both. The map is pretty big. The map is actually in the game. You can actually look at the map in the game. If you go into the data file, you can actually upload the map, which this guy did on YouTube. And the map was actually like pretty much done. It looked pretty much done. Like obviously, like it's missing the textures and a few things or whatever, but the map looked pretty much done. It was like a big area. There was like two sections of the map. There was a river going through the middle. There was a bridge. It looked like a battle royale map. Like it looked pretty big.
Like a horror battle royale, and there's like clickers everywhere, and it's dark, and there's lightning flashing in the sky. Like that could be really cool.
One thing that's really cool about The Last of Us is, they're very like focused on survival in that game. So like imagine like they did survival pretty good. In the game, you're pretty much surviving the whole time. Like you have to craft all this shit all the time. Like in the multiplayer, they could have just done that, And like the dude also found in the data mine, he found a bunch of items that were listed, like as Elite armor level 1, level 2, level 3, helmet level 1, level 2, level 3, backpack level 1, level 2, level 3. So obviously, it kind of hints at a battle royale. Also, the HUD on the map. There's a HUD on the bottom right. There's a big map, like a mini map compass looking thing, and there was also a player count, like a little player count ticker. So obviously, it was a battle royale mode, where like it showed the player count, it showed how many people were in there. Now, was it going to be a battle royale where you could play with friends and squads or whatever? Maybe not. It looked more like a single player battle royale, but still, that would have been kind of cool. I think it would have been even more intense being a single player. It would have been even more scary. Trying to fight clickers by yourself and shit while trying to fight enemy players. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah, I guess if they did a team deathmatch, it would kind of feel exactly like the Uncharted multiplayer.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. Yeah.
Or it would feel like the first multiplayer of the first game, which was kind of fun, but it was different.
Oh.
It was different.
No, I guess I never played that.
It was actually pretty good.
Team deathmatch, but with like
it was team deathmatch. It was team deathmatch. They had a few modes. They had team deathmatch. They had like domination almost, and they had another one called like interrogation or something. And so this one was so it was pretty much like The Last of Us. You had to like run around and you had to craft like bandages and shit to heal yourself, and it was unique in that way where you would die if you didn't like craft shit to heal yourself. And it was a lot kind of like Uncharted. It felt kind of like that, but more The Last of Us style. More like
that Uncharted multiplayer is what I had a PS3. That was actually really well done.
It was fun. I loved it.
It wasn't bad. Yeah, it was kind of fun. Speaking of battle royale, Forza Horizon 4 is getting a battle royale mode. It's called Eliminator. And this involves 72 cars in an open world arena that involves head-to-head racing and shrinking boundaries. In the mode, players zoom all over the British countryside, and they will. This is an old article, Gunny. What the fuck?
Are you sure? Because I thought. Okay, because
this is really old. This is from 2019.
Oh my god! I grabbed the wrong one because I thought, who was it that sent it to me? It wasn't Mayo, so I can't blame him.
I was like, this looks really familiar. I already played this mode.
Damn it! I thought you were talking about the Mini Cooper thing, but
it was the Mini Cooper thing.
Oh fuck! I thought there was like another.
Gunny, you had one job, Gunny.
I know.
Yeah, one job. And you give me like an article from 2019, Gunny.
I didn't even realize it because I
pulled it right out of the dumpster.
I was going to mention that there already is a battle royale game mode in this game, but
no shit, Gunny. Yeah, because
I played it too
4 years ago or whatever. When this article came out. Let's move on to some more news here. Speaking of new articles, the hottest new thing coming to the Xbox is their new and improved Alpha Ring update. That's right, for the Xbox Series X, if you're in the Alpha Ring, that means the very first ring of updates. This week, you're going to get a very cool feature, Gunny, that you will not get.
I can't wait. I can't wait. What is it?
Gunny, you're not on the Series X. You're on the Series S. You can't get this feature.
What? Why?
This is for Series X, rich people only feature. Sorry, Gunny. You hobos
the elite
don't get this.
People. Okay, the ones that paid the $4.99 plus tax.
This is the 1%er features. Okay,
I got
for the 1%ers out there playing the Series X, the 20 of you that are out there that bought one, you're gonna get an increased resolution UI. That means, Gunny, you know what that means?
That means
4K.
What?
UI 4K. You hobos on the Series S don't even know what that even looks like.
We know what 1440p is. We know what upres is. Are we talking native 4K? Is that what you're talking? We're talking about
native
real 4K.
Real fucking 4K pixels on your screen. They're all there. You can count them all if you want to. 4K, Gunny.
You know what I say?
K.
You know what I say? Good, because I know that PlayStation 4 Pro does 4K native. I think they do 4K native, but I know the PlayStation 5 definitely does it. So I want to say, good. I'm getting sick and tired of Sony ponies picking on my Xbox, not my S or anything, about having 1080p resolution on the UI. Now we get 4K. They can just go whine and cry about something else. But I'm glad. Thank you, Sony ponies. You're actually making my console better. My brand is actually getting better because of you.
It was so blurry you could barely even make it out, right?
You know what game? Did you even know what games you were launching before this update? I don't think so.
Not a clue. Just blobs of color.
Yeah. I was just like, what the hell am I launching right now? Oh, what is this? Am I even on the Game Pass app? I don't know. Everything's green on the screen. I don't know.
I had to turn on the voice dictation features.
So thank you, Sony ponies, for crapping all over my console and my brand. You actually made it better. It's got to be just like Sony now. It's got to be just like the PlayStation. It's got to be 4K resolution on the fucking UI.
No, hold on. Let me check. Is PS5 UI 4K?
It probably is. I think it is.
Wow. Look at this. Look at this article right here. PS5 UI runs at 4K. Xbox Series X runs at 1080p. Wow.
Whoa.
Trash.
That's a fucking...
How did you guys even know what you were launching? I'm over here looking at Ratchet and Clank's fur and shit on this home screen. I'm looking at Master Chief's helmet. No, not Master Chief. Commander Shepard's helmet. All right. I'm over here looking at Returnal, old lady, old grandma astronaut. I'm looking at her face in 4K while I launched the game.
See the moles on her face?
Yeah, I see the moles on her face. She has all the white hair in the world. I can see it all in 4K. You guys over there launching? You guys over there fucking 1080p? What is this? Is that even...
We're coming up in the world. We're moving up. Wait.
I thought this was next gen,
I'm going to stay 1080p over here. Even when that Forza 5 comes out. Yeah, 1080p, baby.
What is this, 2010? Fucking 1080p.
Hey, the world's most powerful.
Yeah, world's
Xbox.
most powerful.
See, they said Xbox. They didn't say powerful console. Powerful Xbox.
World's most powerful console that only does 1080p UI. Fucking trash box. God. Fucking hobo.
So thank you, Sony. I appreciate it. I really do. You salty Sony ponies.
Sony
helping us out.
It was thanks to Sony. You should be thanking Sony. That's the only reason Xbox made it 4K. It's because the PS5 wasn't 4K.
I kind of thank them for crapping all over my Halo Infinite that it didn't release. You know?
Yeah, and you're lucky. Thanks to the Sony ponies making fun of your ugly ass Craig the Brute.
Right? If they didn't, it would have came out. It would have.
Yeah, it would have came out all fucking shitty looking. They would have released it. Phil Spencer. Yeah, man, go ahead, release that, man. He's all fucking baked out of his mind over there. They would have released it.
We listen to our Sony players. I mean, our fans over it.
They would have released it, and shit would have been bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, guys, gentlemen, last week, under NDA, there was a Battlefield 2042 technical test. Now, as we all know, Mayo and I were both invited to it. I wasn't able to play because obviously all the fucking test times were during my work hours, so I did not get to participate in this.
I didn't even know this was a thing, yeah.
But if you did, let me tell you something right now, Gunny. If you did, and you too, Brink, do not share any information from the tech test, they said. EA has said if you share any information of this tech test, including information in the public about the game, about how it ran, about what it was like, about the gameplay, about the modes, about the shooting, about the graphics, Gunny, about how your cousin thought that the defibrillators didn't work right, all that stuff, Gunny, your account will get permanently banned from EA.
Whoa.
And you will no longer be able to play this game under your account. That's right.
And that takes half the fun out of it, doesn't it?
Well, it's under NDA. I remember when I saw the email, it was like, yeah, they say on that motherfucker, this shit is under NDA, and they have like a whole list of shit like, do not stream this, do not screenshot this, do not take a picture of this with your phone, do not tell your friends about this, do not tell anyone on public about this.
Is this
all
because
this fucking list?
There was something about, is there an article? I don't know if you're audited or not. I haven't looked for it because I haven't seen any gameplay. I know the tech test was coming up, but weren't they trying to like data mine the fucking single player crap? And that was the thing people were putting on Twitter and Facebook about the single player. And I think this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, EA came out and said, you're under NDA for the playtest, so video, screenshots, and streaming will result on strike on your Twitch and YouTube channels, which did happen to some streamers. Also, you break the rules, you lose access to both the technical playtest, any future EA tests for any other games, and potentially you will lose access to Battlefield 2042 itself when it releases. And they also tweeted out and said that they've already removed plenty of people from the playtest in the past 48 hours, and they will not be able to play the rest of the playtest. So yeah, apparently a lot of people were trying to stream it and screenshot it, and somehow they figured it out, and they were banning people left and right. That sucks.
Yeah, I've been able to avoid any spoilers that they've talked about.
I mean, what really can they spoil? It's a fucking multiplayer.
No, but I was just speaking more on the single player story that they.
There is no single player story. They released some fucking YouTube video called Exodus or whatever, and then they're like, more coming this Thursday. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever those people got in there.
You want another story? Let me tell you. You want another story of Battlefield 22?
Is there shooting involved?
You guys want another story of the background of why?
Any military-related things?
Okay, let me tell you. The year is 2021. In Dubai, there's crazy rich people, right, Gunny and Brink? There's crazy rich people in Dubai. Horrible Gamers podcast first reports that crazy rich people in Dubai are manipulating the weather with drones.
I watched that video today, by the way.
Listen, motherfucker, you. 2 weeks later, U.S. troops withdraw from Afghanistan, leading to the worst withdrawal of U.S. troops in history and the fall of the Afghanistan government. Fast forward, 3 years later, Brink finally gets a PS5. Fast forward, 10 years later, the drones that were electrifying the sky of Dubai are now causing crazy tornadoes in Dubai. Fast forward, 15 years later, Gunny, it's 2042. Okay, maybe I'm way off on the years here, but okay. Fast forward, it's the year 2042. Trying to follow this timeline here. Okay. So it's the year 2042. Crazy drones have caused tornadoes in Dubai. All the rich people have fled. They now live in Canada in the northern part of Canada where no other Canadian lives. That's where all the rich people move to because
it's like Florida up there now, right? It's
yeah, like no
weather.
one else lives. Yeah, no one else lives up there. They can manipulate the weather. They went up there and they made it all livable. And they're like, "Fuck you, Canadians. We're moving all up here to this part of Canada." And I moved up there, and then the war started against the Taliban, who now have crazy flying tanks and crazy wingsuits, and it's pretty much Battlefield 2042 is the U.S. fighting the Taliban in Dubai with tornadoes, and yeah, there's your timeline. Boom.
Okay, so what you're saying is, I watched the news this morning. So you're saying that's like the first 40 seconds of the trailer of Battlefield 2042. Did I get that right? Right? That's, I mean, yeah, fucking Afghanistan. I saw the fucking, I was watching those drones today. They were electrifying the sky.
Electrifying the sky. I'm telling you, this is I might as well, I should be the Battlefield 2042 story writer. I just made up the whole story for them. What else do they need? They don't need nothing else. That's all they need. Oh, you need a crazy... No one cares about no fucking background story to this shit. They just want to blow shit up and... Like, I just want to blow shit up, jump off a building with my fucking grappling hook, go into a tornado, fly a helicopter into a tornado with Brink. Because, you know, we're like totally going to fly into a tornado because we're flying away from a jet that's trying to kill us. So I fly straight into a tornado. We jump out of the helicopter. We wingsuit out of that motherfucker. Grapple onto a fucking skyscraper. Land on the rooftop. Kill the entire enemy team. And single-handedly, 2 people will take over Checkpoint Charlie. And we take the lead. That's all we care about, all right? Battlefield 20.
That's it, yep.
That's all Battlefield players. Yeah, Battlefield players, that's all we fucking care about. You don't care about no stupid fucking, the climate change and the oil drilling, we should have stopped. No one fucking cares, dude. No one cares. Look, we got rich people manipulating the sky. It's obvious no one gives a fuck about planet Earth.
Yeah, I mean, there's no campaign, right? There's no campaign. So then why do I keep seeing these like videos pop up on YouTube that's
because they're like trying to like they're trying to make like this backstory to the whole thing, and it's like
they're just like setting the mood, turning the lights down, whispering in your ear, getting you all hot and bothered.
Oh, Gunny,
it's set up like a single player story, though, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna have like characters like this one's.
Oh. Well, Warzone does that shit.
I don't know. Right? You know, like, and they'll have a story to them.
Yeah,
I don't know where that came. I'm just saying.
Warzone does that shit. You're right. Warzone does it for like every skin.
Edgy. Yeah.
Hey, Bravo 6 going hot.
That's it. That's the new thing. Story behind the skins, man. Every month, Battlefield's going to do it too. They're going to launch a whole set of new skins. They're going to give another 5-minute story trailer that plays when you fucking log in that you just skip through. And you're going to have all kinds of new skins to buy. It's gonna be just like how
just like Rainbow Six Vegas or Rainbow Six, yeah.
Skin Stories brought to you by EA.
Skin Stories. That sounds dirty as fuck.
We got.
You're looking over your shoulder and shit when you're watching that late at night.
We got Skin Stories brought to you by EA.
We need a female voice doing that.
Oh
yeah, with a lift next on Skin Stories.
Oh, shit! Look at Skin Stories. Well, what part of EA? I work for EA. What team do you work for? I work for the Skin Stories team.
Oh yes, we do.
I'm in the Skin Stories division. What do you do there? I won't even ask. Is this some kind of sexual harassment fucking thing going on over there? I work for the Skin Stories division. Oh, man. PS5 versus Xbox Series X and X. Gunny, we got some sales comparisons. That's right. For July, PlayStation 5 in the world has now sold 10,479,000 consoles, Gunny. That's right. The Xbox has sold 6,454,980. The gap last month between the Xbox and the PS5, both the Xboxes and the PS5, was 440,000 more PS5s were sold in the world than the Xbox.
PlayStation wins. PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation's pretty much kicking their ass in the world. Speaking of more news, Call of Duty Vanguard has been officially teased.
I saw that. I wasn't sure that was new or news.
World War II multiplayer game. Now, I've actually was reading rumors about this last week or a couple weeks ago. Actually, there was some leaks, and pretty much what they said in the leaks were that Warzone, that Call of Duty Vanguard is a multiplayer like a Call of Duty regular game coming out, so you will be able to pay for it, but Warzone is going to be implemented into World War II now. So Warzone is going to be destroyed. The map is going to blow up or something, or some kind of time travel shit's going to happen in the map where everyone's going to be transferred back to World War II. And apparently they're going to do an overhaul on all the weapons and everything to make it World War II style. And I believe that Modern Warfare no longer will be the launch game for the Warzone mode. I think you're going to have for Vanguard or whatever, like it's gonna be all based on Vanguard, I think, from now on in the multiplayer in the battle royales, from what I heard in the leaks. Now I don't know if that's 100% true. I wouldn't doubt it because obviously they eventually have to upgrade, right, or change or move forward or something.
Right.
Personally, in my opinion, I feel like Call of Duty. I'm not gonna buy it this year. I'm Battlefield all the way, dude. I'm not buying Call of Duty. I'm just
you and everybody else.
I mean,
at this moment,
it's hard to say until we see what they've done with it, I guess. But initially, my first impression after watching the teaser today was, no, I'm just gonna play Battlefield. But who knows? They might surprise us. I mean, they got a lot of money, and they give themselves enough time in between games. The way they split up the studios, so. It could be good.
Yeah, this one apparently is going to be. This one is developed by. Fuck is it?
Rare? No,
not Treyarch. The other guys, Sledgehammer Games. So yeah, they're the ones making this one.
In the chat, I was talking to Imes about it, and he mentioned how what if they did it like Modern Warfare, like it had that gritty, realistic thing going on, but they did that with a 2 game. I think that
would be actually would be fucking cool. Actually would, but I don't know if they would or not.
Just make it dark as fuck.
Anyways, the reveal will be in Call of Duty Warzone, inside the Warzone mode. Oh, that's like some Fortnite type shit.
Yeah, they're definitely doing that Fortnite thing. How does that even work? Have either of you seen one of their events yet?
No.
Yes, I have. So
you watch Ariana Grande?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. So I watched. Actually, I did. So I watched the what was it? Before the Ariana Grande one, there was the first one. What the fuck was the first one they ever did? Was it Marshmello? We did the concert. Or was it DJ Tiesto? It's one of those electronic fucking DJ guys. It was Tiesto or Marshmello or both of them. I know both of them probably did it. I know they did one, and then they did who else? The dude who sings Juice WRLD, Gunny. What's his name? Juice WRLD.
I only know him as Juice WRLD. I don't know.
You know him as Juice WRLD? That's not his fucking name. That's the fucking album.
What? No, that's his rap name, isn't it?
Is that his name? I don't fucking know. Maybe Juice WRLD. Okay, that is his rap name. So Juice WRLD, I think he did one, right? I don't know. A bunch of people have done it. Last one I watched was the Ariana Grande one. And that was pretty bizarre. It was weird, dude. It's just like, it just starts. Like, you'll be in the match, fucking Brink, and all of a sudden, like, everything changes on the screen, and next thing you know, you're like watching this like fucking 10-minute long music thing, and like the people are in the fucking game singing and shit. And you can move
like
around
what,
your
just
character
up in the sky or some shit, or
Yeah, like
does
walking
the game
through the.
cease to function the way it did.
Yes, it
before?
does. Like you're floating through the air, or like in the area in the area in the Ariana Grande one. Pretty much what happened in the beginning is something like everyone floated up into the sky, and everyone teleported into like this like fucking fairy world or whatever, and then she started singing or whatever, but she wasn't there yet. Like it was like some like a huge giant teddy bear or something coming out of the horizon, and like you were floating towards this fucking giant teddy bear, and like you were like floating on these fucking clouds and bouncing on these trees and shit, and like you could move around, but like there wasn't like no killing each other, like you couldn't kill the other players or whatever. The next thing you know, like when you got close to the teddy bear, it like fucking exploded, and like you know you were like in space, and like it's like a concert, right? It's like a whole event thing, like you're in space and everything around you is space, and next thing you know, Ariana Grande shows up, and she's there, but like in giant form, and you're like a little character, you know, and she's like singing and shit and dancing, and you can like go up and see her and like get close to her and all this shit and fucking float around her or whatever, and then like the scene
That's
changes.
for the dudes
and
who have that weird fetish, like the big vampire chick fetish.
Yeah, exactly. And then like the thing changed, and now she's like walking up the staircase as she's singing, and like these platforms are building up next to the staircase, and like you're running up the staircase next to her, and she's walking up the staircase singing or whatever, and then you're like platforming up the staircase yourself, and you can fall off the staircase, and you respawn, and you can just keep going back up, and she just keeps singing, and then
like
eventually like
wild shit, dude.
It does.
and then she
yeah.
like eventually she'll stop singing and like say thank you or whatever the fuck, and then bye, and then like the shit goes back to Fortnite. It just like takes you back to the main screen.
Be interesting
So I'm assuming
to see what Blizzard does to compete with that. Or not Blizzard,
Activision.
Activision.
Yeah.
They're all the same, right? It's the same.
All of a sudden you're in Warzone, and all of a sudden everything turns to World War II, and you're being shot at by Nazis. It's like, oh fuck, what the fuck? Yeah, that would be kind of cool actually if they did that. What if the reveal is them switching the map over to Vanguard? What if that was the reveal? They just did it. They didn't even fucking say, here's a trailer.
No,
we're just fucking doing it.
Maybe for like a limited time or something. But
no, we're just doing it.
We're
We're just doing it, Brink.
Right?
We're just fucking doing it, Brink.
Oh
We're doing it right now. We're going live. We're doing it right now, Gunny.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. Anyways, also in some more news. There was a man arrested for killing an Overwatch Brazilian voice actress. That's right. Christine Luisa de Paula de Silva. Oh, that's a long name. She was a Brazilian voice actress for Mercy, the flying angel chick. She was killed last month. The civil police managed to find and arrest a suspect, an economist by the name of Pedro Paulo Goncalves Vasconcelos da Costa. That's a long-ass fucking name.
They do that, right? They do 4 to 5 names, yeah.
Well, the thing is, you know what it is, right? You take your mother and your father's last name. In some Latin countries. In Mexico, women usually have their father and their mother's last name. They have their maiden name and their father's last name. And when they get married, they drop their maiden name, their mom's last name, and they take their husband's last name, but they keep their original father's last name. So that's why you see a lot of Mexican people that have 2 last names.
In Iceland, you take your father's last name, and you're just either son or daughter. So you'd be like Siegfried's daughter, and that's your name. it's freaking weird.
Sounds pretty lame, but okay. So Pedro was reported to have killed her inside her apartment with a broken chalice. That's very unique. The motive for this murder was that he was intending to keep the actress's belongings and her inheritance. Previously, he confessed to the crime for reasons of self-defense. They were friends that met in 2017 in a psychiatric clinic, and he recently had went through a crisis and was staying at her apartment in Ipanema, Brazil. Anyways, that sucks. So
yeah,
she dead. That sucks. He fuck that guy, fucking asshole.
Wasn't there just another? It was. I thought it was the Brazilian woman who did Cortana in that language.
That's her.
Or is that the same one?
It's the same one. Yeah, she does also.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. She does the Brazilian Cortana as well. Oh yeah, if you're Brazilian and you have a Cortana system, that's her voice you're hearing. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Like knowing that somebody's dead and you're hearing their voice.
Yeah. Before the game's even released, or was it?
Well, no.
I assume she did it for.
Overwatch has been out forever, dude.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, just knowing that they're gone, but there's still a piece of them.
Yeah.
That's still here.
Yeah, it's
speaking to you.
It's creepy. Also, what else do I have for news here? I'm trying to look for any other last piece of news that's important, and I don't have any.
I mean, and for anyone interested, Intel revealed their GPUs that they're going to launch early next year with full DirectX 12 support, ray tracing, and AI-based upscaling like DLSS. It's going to have everything.
Everything?
Yep. So we're going to have a third contender in the GPU market. That's good, right?
It is good.
Yeah. How much is this going to be, though?
I'm sure they'll be competitively priced. I mean, so probably way overpriced like all the other GPUs, but we'll see.
That sucks.
Depends on the market at that in 5-6 months.
Yeah, I think the other thing was I think we talked about Gamescom being in person, but in fact it wasn't.
Or wasn't in person no more?
No.
Well, what the fuck?
No, because I think I saw Jeff Keighley after we recorded the show, and he was talking about, presenting things. Maybe for the American side, I don't know if he's just doing it for Gamescom officially or how that works.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't think they're having like a full-blown convention like they would normally do.
Hopefully they show some Hellblade 2. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hellblade
especially because
2.
they just did the series console upgrades for Hellblade 1, and maybe they're preparing us to get hyped for Hellblade 2 again.
Yeah.
Because that game was very much missing from E3.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see something new also from any other studio that, Microsoft acquired. Hell, even PlayStation, whatever they got going on, just give it to us. I don't care if it's even VR stuff. Show it to me.
Give us the skin stories.
I want to see new skin. All the cool skins.
That's all I have. That's all I have for news. I guess we should move on now to community questions.
We got a couple of those, but before we do that, my time is just about up here. It's always right at the console quarter time, so I'm going to try to be quiet here before the wife comes in and goes, "Go to fucking bed, you loud podcaster, you." Yeah, let's go over to the console corner for
Go.
Still in August. We got PlayStation Plants vs. Zombies. Oh man, I forgot I downloaded that game. I need to play that. Hunters Arena Legends and Tennis World Tour 2. Not downloading that game. Not gonna happen. I claimed it. Not gonna play it. Over on Xbox Games for Gold. This is your second half of the month for August. You've got Ukulele. Now, what I almost thought I thought, okay, I played this game. I remember Ryan was hyping it up, but I didn't realize this is the very first one. I played Yoku's Island Express, which is the pinball one, and then there's actually a third one. So there are 3 in the series. I recommend at least the first 2. I'm gonna go back and play this. I think I just missed this game completely. Yeah, so that way I can say I played all 3 of those games. And your second game for gold is Garu, Mark of the Wolves. This is your backwards compatible title from that old hobo-ass console. It's a fighter. It's Neo Geo SNK-ish kind of game. Yeah, so if you want a Street Fighter clone, there you go. Go get that game. It's free though with your subscription. For Game Pass, we have Hades. I talked about it for a minute. Wasn't feeling it. I will go back. I will play it more this week. That and The Ascent. Talk more about those games. But Game Pass, yes. Hades, and the other one is Boyfriend Dungeon. Now beware for Boyfriend Dungeon. This is a dungeon crawler dating sim indie game taking place in an urban fantasy setting. The player must fight through the dungeons with the help of a human partner. You are the human partner, believe it or not. That's who it is. You can transform into a sentient weapon. Now, there are warnings. I don't know what the warnings are, but definitely research that before you play it. Some kind of creeper fucking warnings. I don't know. I saw some hubbub about it on Twitter. Something's going on over there.
Creeper warnings?
It was something about stalker warnings. I saw Iams actually commenting on
like
it. So
some fucking guy's gonna be peeping through your window or something if you play the game.
I think so. Like, yeah, Iams knows more about it. I was gonna reach out to him and go, "What's up, man? Were you triggered by this game?" I don't know. Yeah, that was on Twitter.
You're saying so it could trigger like new monsters.
Yeah.
Unleash monsters is what you're.
Something's going on there. I don't even know.
Sounds like maybe people should stay away from that game.
Right? Except for Iams. This is right up his alley. He probably played all the way through it. Over to the Evil Epic Store, we've got Rebel Galaxy. That is your free Epic game this week. So this is not the newest one. This is the one from 2015. But yeah, definitely grab that one. And more to come always with the Console Corner and great games included with subscriptions. Now moving on to community questions. We've only got 2 here from, let's see, we got Brian Till Jr. as always. He wants to ask Mayo how does he go about booking a Camaro drive test? He's probably not that far, right? Like he probably you come down to Michigan. How far is it to Ohio,
Come
Brian?
down to Ohio, like 2 hours.
Right, so it's probably what, 4 or 5 hour? Get your RV, drive down to Ohio, go park it in a cornfield somewhere.
Then just wait for Mayo. He'll show up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He'll just show up. Just randomly show up.
Just block the road with your RV. It'll be like Mad Max style.
If you sit in a corn, listen, how to summon a Mayo. You sit in a cornfield, you create a ring of fire around you with candles. You whisper the Mayo 4 times onto a corn on the cob, and then you peel it.
and then Brian, there'll be like a silhouette of me coming onto the field, right? And I'll look at you like in a ghostly fashion and say, "Burn it," and he will come.
So you hear like tire screeching, and the fucking Mayo is just driving through the field in the Camaro, and he's there. Summoned. It's just like that. I don't know. It works all the time. So I hear the people summon the Mayo in Ohio. It's just gotta whisper his name 4 times into a corn on the cob in the middle of a cornfield with a ring of fire of candles around you. And yeah, it's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen. All right.
Yep.
And then he's gonna roll up and he's gonna say, "Hey, You here to make some skin stories?
Oh, he wants some skin stories, huh? Mm.
You want to wear my cool jacket while you drive the car? Okay, it's getting a little personal now, but why not? Borrow the shades too.
All right. Well, what else?
Brian wants to know what's the worst show that we've tried to get into that others raved about that you just can't bring yourself to get into.
Friends.
Hmm.
I don't have no interest watching that. Or Seinfeld. Old boomer show. Seinfeld is really funny.
Bro, both those shows are so good.
No. What else?
You know, like Seinfeld, that shit's funny, dude.
Yeah, Kramer.
That's like some boomer ass.
Dude,
like,
Kramer's hilarious.
Like,
dude, that's some boomer ass shit, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here with that.
Think of it this way.
Fucking
Jesus,
Seinfeld,
maybe you're
really?
Well, okay, so maybe Seinfeld isn't funny, but everybody around him is funny. That's the way I've always seen that show.
Isn't there a guy named Kramer on there? Kramer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kramer's the tall guy, right? What's his name? He
has like curly hair.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
So, I went to my coworker's house once. She invited me to watch like a boxing match, and we went over there. And this dude literally has like a framed painting photograph of that dude, like at his dinner table.
Okay.
like this huge, like I'm talking like a huge, like a poster size fucking framed, like painting of this motherfucker at his dinner table, and it's not like a frame like a modern like a little black frame or something like a poster's in. No, it's like one of those like gold fucking old school like painting frames, or you know what I mean, like shit you see like in like old living rooms or whatever, the shit that people have in the living room. It's like one of those. It was really random, and he says he like, I don't know where he said he found it or something, or he bought it from somebody at a yard sale or something. I was like, what? Why would you have this?
I know that painting he's talking about.
You know the painting. It's a pretty popular one, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it on TV or internet, but yeah.
You gotta really watch the Soup Nazi episode. That's one of the best.
That just sounds terrible.
That sounds familiar.
The no soup for you guy.
Oh, was that? I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, you're gonna hate my pick as much as I hate yours.
Go ahead.
Game of Thrones.
God damn it, you!
You couldn't get into that show?
I cannot get into that show.
That show is so good. All right, Brink, if there's a few episodes, okay, if I could get you to watch just 2 episodes, just 2. Watch one that's called The Red Wedding. I believe that's season 3 or something like that. The end of season 3 or the beginning of season 3. One of the two. But, okay, so pretty much, I'm going to tell you the synopsis to like that point of the story of it. So pretty much this dude, right, who's the House of Winterfell, he's like the lord, he's like the lord of this house, right? His best friend is the king of the 7 kingdoms. So his best friend is like the king of everything. Goes up there in this chariot or whatever, like his fucking king or whatever. Goes up there and he tells him, hey dude, the hand of the king, which is like the right hand man of the king, who like is the king when the king is gone or whatever, he just died. He's like, I don't trust anyone else in the kingdom or anyone else like in my group of people. I don't trust anyone else to make them the hand of the king, so I want you to be the hand of the king. Now, the dude who's in Winterfell, the Lord Stark or whatever, he at first doesn't want to do it because he's like, no, I belong up here in the north. I've always lived here, like I don't want to. And he's like, no, dude, like you don't have a choice. I'm the fucking king. I'm telling you, you're the fucking head of the king now. And he's like, okay, well, fuck, like he's also very loyal. He believes in like the rules of like listening to your king and all this shit. So he goes ahead and leaves with this dude, heads back down to like the kingdom of or like the capital or whatever, where like the king lives, and that's where he lives. And pretty much all this crazy betrayal happens where the king ends up dying in some hunting accident. The king dies. So, like I told you, the hand of the king is the guy who steps up to be king if the king is gone. It's kind of like the vice president, right? Like, he takes control if the president is gone or whatever. And pretty much since this dude was injured in a hunting accident, the king tells him in private, hey, dude, I need you to be king until my son becomes of age. Because his son is like a little brat. He's like a little asshole. He's like maybe 13 or 14, right?
Yeah.
And the king feels like he's too young to
Joffrey.
be king. Yeah, Prince Joffrey. And the king tells Ned, he's like, yo, like, I know my son's a little too young. He needs to learn from somebody that'll teach him how to be like a right king, you know, like a rightful, like honorable person. And I want you to be the king until he becomes of age, and then you transfer the power to him. So this was said in private, you know, by the king to this dude, you know, while he was dying or whatever, and then he dies. So Ned, or Stark, he goes and he tells the queen, hey, look, I'm the new king. You know, your husband said I was the king until your son becomes of age. But she's like this crazy, power-hungry lady, and she's like, no, fuck you. Like, my son is the new king. You're just the fucking hand of the king. You're no one. So she makes it to where she makes it seem like the Stark dude is trying to take the power from her son. Like, it's making it seem like he's trying to become king and make his family the king of the kingdom, you know, like the king of everything of the 7 kingdoms. So she sets him up where she like portrays him as like a traitor to the crown. So he gets arrested by like the city guard. And he's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And then she pronounces her son the king of the 7 kingdoms and all this shit. And the son believes her that he was going to kill him because she somehow convinced her son that Stark was going to have him killed so Stark can become the next king and be king forever. And then pretty much she convinces him. So Joffrey orders Ned Stark to be beheaded, like for treason, right? And Ned Stark is like, I never betrayed you. Like, I was just following what your dad wanted, you know? But anyways, he cuts his head off. It happens. The main character is dead within like the first season. And you're like, what the fuck? So what happens there is, you know, word gets back to the north, you know, Winterfell, where that dude's son, Ned Stark's son, Robb Stark, who's like, he's now the Lord of House Winterfell because the next guy in line is the guy who becomes the new Lord of the house. He finds out these guys killed his dad. You know, that did like, they said that he was treasonous and they killed his dad. So when they labeled him treasonous and killed his dad, he's like, you know what? Fuck this. You motherfuckers have just declared war on us. So he gets this army together from Winterfell and he unites like Winterfell and he gets a few other allies from the north, like that are loyal to House Stark because all these houses are kind of loyal to each other. You know what I mean? So he gets these armies together and they start marching south. So, you know, long story, you know, they get to the south and there's this bridge. So this is kind of where the Red Wedding begins, Brink. So, you know, there's this bridge. They're in this whole campaign marching south and they're like kicking the ass of the Lannisters left and right. You know, the Lannister is the army of like the queen and her family is the Lannister family. They're from Castle Rock. They're the ones that now are the king or whatever. You know, Prince Joffrey is now King Lannister or whatever. So they're marching south to attack the fucking castle or whatever, the capital or whatever. But there's this bridge they have to cross at the Twins. And it's called the Twins because there's 2 towers at each end of the bridge, and they have to cross this bridge. The Twins is controlled by this guy. I forget his fucking name, but he's like the lord of that house, right? Of that kingdom or whatever, where the Twins is at. So he controls the bridge. So to get access to cross the bridge, the Starks offer him like a peace treaty saying like, hey, look, we understand you are a Lannister ally. We do not wish to attack you. Let us camp here overnight and you host us as your guest. And, you know, we kind of do like this peace treaty, like have a dinner, you know, like kind of like a peace treaty type thing, right? So during this peace treaty, Robb Stark, which is the leader of Winterfell, like the king of the north right now, he declared himself king of the north to declare war against the king of the south, right? Because he declared himself king or else no one was going to follow him. So he declared himself the king of the north, started marching south. he gets to this fucking bridge that he has to cross. He can't cross it without like either invading it or just declaring peace. So to declare peace, to not to not lose more men before they get across the bridge. So he thinks that this dude is gonna like create a peace treaty with him in the north. During this dinner, they're all getting fucking drunk, right? Like all the generals of his army, they're all invited inside to like this dinner room, this hall. And pretty much like fucking during this fucking dinner, they're all kind of chilling there. And Rob, during the campaign to the south, he met this lady. He fell in love with her, and he declared that he was going to marry her, and she was going to become.
He was pregnant.
And she was pregnant. He found out she was pregnant. He got in love with her. He was going to marry her. The problem was, Brink, that when they were children, his father had said to that dude of the Lord of the Twins or whatever, he told him, my son, Robb Stark, is going to marry one of your daughters, and your daughter will become a Stark and is going to join our houses. Well, with this dude now all of a sudden falling in love with this random chick and getting her pregnant and all this shit, now he can't marry this other dude's daughter, right? And he's at his house as a guest. So during this time, the mom is sitting there. His mom is sitting there. She was the wife of Ned Stark who got beheaded. She's the Lady of Winterfell. She's sitting there, and one of the Lannister guys shows up. He's like one of the generals of the Lannister army. He shows up, but he shows up as an invited guest from the twins, the guy of the twins. So obviously, house rules, you don't attack during a dinner party or whatever, it's just like the rules of whatever, unspoken rules of the military. So he shows up and she's sitting next to her, man, and she's sitting there and she's looking at this motherfucker like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, you're our enemy. Like, literally, you are our fucking enemy. We're fighting a war against you right now. And he's sitting there and he's kind of looking at her, right? And like the music starts playing, and the music that they start playing is the music of the Lannister family. The Lannister has like their own music. Each house has like their own type of music, like their own, like kind of like their band plays the music, their house music. And the Lannister music starts playing, like the violin starts playing the Lannister music. And she starts looking around like, what the fuck? Like, she realizes that all the men that are in her military, like all the men that are part of Robb's like generals and shit, like all his commanders and captains, they're all unarmed. Even Robb is unarmed. But she notices that this dude has like a dagger on him. And she starts looking around the room and she notices that all the other soldiers of the guy who's hosting them, they all have swords and weapons and they all have armor on. And she's like, what the fuck? And then she notices the door behind him gets like locked. Like one of the dudes locks the door behind them. And she's like sitting there and she's like started getting more worried. And then she like kind of lifts this dude's like his sleeve up. And she sees that he has like chainmail on underneath his fucking robe or whatever. And she's like, holy fuck, like we're being set up. And next thing you know, like it just fucking begins to, like a fucking slaughter happens. And then all the men outside get fucking killed because they're all drunk, right? Because they get them all drunk and they like pretty much burn all the tents. And in a matter of like one night, they destroy the fucking Winterfell army of the North or whatever. And they fuck them all up. And it was a wild episode. And then, yeah,
that
it's
was
fucking
all that
sick.
was one episode?
All that was like a whole 4 seasons, but like condensed to one episode.
Oh, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It was like 3 seasons maybe. And then Battle of the Bastards is pretty much Jon Snow, which is the bastard son of Ned Stark. So like anybody who's born out of wedlock is called a bastard. And they cannot take he cannot be called Jon Stark because he's a bastard. So he has to be called Snow. Anyone who's born in the North as a bastard has to be called Snow. Like that's just like their default name or whatever. So he pretty much leads an army to take back Winterfell from this dude who was given Winterfell by the Lannister army, who's this crazy like psychopathic motherfucker who's also a bastard because he betrayed his dad or something. So they both have like this huge battle, and like that battle was sick. It's like a whole like think of like some medieval type battle or whatever, but like with fucking horses and crazy shit going on, and it's fucking sick, dude.
I could tell that you like it.
That battle was like I think HBO said that was at the time their most expensive episode they've ever filmed on TV ever. Like it cost them a shitload of money.
The last season, Brink, without any real spoilers, was the last season was the ice zombies.
Yeah, the ice zombies come, Brink. You know you like ice. I know you like.
I'm gonna call them ice zombies.
I've heard it gets better over time. I've just tried to watch the first couple episodes multiple times. I just never care to continue.
It's hard. I know it's hard to get into, like, oh, the Lord and the lady and all that bullshit. Slow. The way they talk, it's kind of slow in the beginning. There's a lot of political shit, but once you get into it, you're like, holy fuck, all this story is nuts, dude. Like, and like, the cool thing is that now they're gonna make a spin-off show, which is a prequel to this one. So the new show is gonna be called Game of Thrones. I think it's called House of Snakes, which is based in the desert. Gunny. It's based on the house of that one dude who fought the mountain, the guy with the spear.
Yeah,
the guy who fought the mountain.
With an N.
But... Yeah. He fucking. Yeah, he. It's based on his house, and it's based on how they are like. It's based on that side of the world or whatever. So like the desert part of the world. It's not the snow part of the world. It looks fucking sick though. It's called the House of Seven Snakes or something like that, or the House of Snakes or some shit. Because that's their animal, right? The snake.
Yeah. Well, I forgot the name of those people. The people that were there. I forgot.
I forgot because they're only like in one season when that dude shows up to fight for the. He fights as the champion for the little midget guy. Forget his name too. All of a sudden it escapes my head. But all these characters are sick, Brink. And some of these battles, Brink, are fucking sick. You're like, God damn, that's fucking awesome. Like, holy shit, this is so cool. It's fucking dope. You'll like it, Brink. I think you will. If you like, I know you like that stupid Viking show. You probably like this.
Yeah, I'm sure one day I will watch it and then suddenly want to talk about it, and everyone will be like, "Dude, we watched that a long time ago. Why
it's like 15 years old,
to
bro.
Talk about it?"
Bro, that happened 15 years ago. we're on the new Game of Thrones, bro. Yeah. But yeah, Game of Thrones is sick, man. What was one show you like? You can get into, Gunny.
I can't think of one. I don't watch a lot of like television per se.
Like on Netflix or something, you know.
Yeah, I just can't think of anything that somebody said, "Oh, you got to watch this or that." Oh, but I can tell you, like Doctor Who, what you're currently watching. Remember, I texted you guys the other day, like,
oh, you can't get into it.
Well, I tried to get into. Mayo tried to get me into, I forgot what season it was. He's like, here, jump right into this season, watch this here.
Season two.
Was it? It might have been 2. I couldn't even describe what it was. And then I watched most of the season, and then I don't know what happened. It just fell off somehow. I think I just need to go back and maybe rewatch episode 6 and just keep going.
So season 2 kind of ends kind of sad because something happens to Rose, kind of. And then, like, all of a sudden, it has, like, this one random episode at the end. It's, like, with this random chick. And then the doctor is kind of fucked up because at the end of the episode, the doctor, you know, she talks about, like, how she has to go back to her boring life. And, like, she wishes that she can just travel anywhere, anytime. And the doctor's kind of, like, looking at her like, well, I can travel anywhere, anytime. Like, literally, I can travel to any time, any planet, anywhere in the universe at any time. And he asked her, do you want to come with me? And she's like, no. And he's like, what? Like, she straight up tells him, like, fuck no, I don't want to go with you. And he's like, why? And she's like, because you're like, she told him that he's not like a good person. She's like, you need someone to tell you no. You need someone that's going to be willing to stop you when you go off the fucking rails. And that's kind of like, like, you know, like during the whole season, you don't see the doctor as the bad guy. Yeah. But when you think about the shit he's done towards other, like, I would say they're racist, like other planet species or aliens or whatever. Like the shit he's killed off, a lot of them, like just straight up fucking killed them all off. And she's like, you're not a good person. You're just somebody who's thinking they're a good person, but you're not a good person. And then he's like, what the fuck? You bitch, I'll kill you too.
Right? Yeah. How dare you?
and then, so that was kind of like a weird episode. So now I'm on episode 1 of season 3, which apparently this is the one where There's a new partner for the Doctor. This is this black girl, I think. She's the new chick that runs around with him and does adventures. Um, but man, that chick, when the first chick, the blonde girl, I forget her, Billy something. Her name is like Billy Piper or something like that. She's fucking hot, dude. I'm like, damn, she's hot. Obviously, this was like in 2002 or something, so I don't know if she's still hot. But she was hot in 2002. All right, Gunny?
Yes. They all are.
Well, I don't know if they all are, okay? But she was. And the new chick is kind of cute, too. The new girl that helps him in season 3. But yeah, it's kind of like cool seeing that. So, and you know what's really cool about Doctor Who that I've watched, watched season 2 now, is that Mayo is right. They do a lot of callbacks to old episodes, and you do see like some of the same enemies keep popping up. For example, the Cybermen, the robot guys or whatever, the fucking robot looking dudes, those guys always come up. They're like always in the season. They're always fucking doing some shit. And they're like in a random episode, like, oh fuck, I know those motherfuckers. I've seen them in this other episode, and you're like, it's kind of cool seeing those callbacks.
When you say old episodes, are we talking about the stuff that my mother used to watch?
That and the new season. So like they do callbacks to season 1 and the earlier episodes of season 2. So it's kind of like both, because some of these things were in the original show back in the 70s or 80s or whatever. Like the Cybermen, like Mayo said, I think he said that they were in the original show, like back in the 70s and 80s or whatever. So that he says the Cybermen were in there. I believe the Diatrek or the Dia something. It starts with the D, like the R2D2 looking things. They're
yes,
like hobo R2D2
I can picture
things.
them. Yeah.
Those fucking hobo things were in the old show as well. He says the reason they look the way they do is because when they brought him to the new show, to the new season, like season 2 and season 1, he said they try to keep everything the same.
That's awesome that they did that, right? They didn't like completely change it.
Yeah,
right?
they like the Cybermen look like the Cybermen from the old show, like, you know what I mean? They kind of kept them the same because they didn't want to change that look of them, because they want the show kind of to be like a whole, almost like a continuation of the old show, So yeah, Doctor Who is pretty fucking dope. I didn't think I was gonna get into it. I thought it was like, oh, this is some nerdy fucking British TV, but no, it's actually pretty good. You should watch
lovely,
it,
Mike. I should go back to it. What'd you say?
Yes.
Let's take a ride, old chap. Back into it. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Watch it, Brink. Watch Doctor Who.
Yeah, that's one I've never even tried watching before, so
I think you'll like it.
Check out. What are you watching that on?
HBO Max.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
HBO's the shit right now, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, HBO has everything, man. Fuck yeah, it's so worth it. They have so much shit on there. It's ridiculous.
I do the old APK movie box on my iOS devices.
Whoa.
Thanks to my son. Thanks to Gunny Jr.
Whoa. I don't know anything.
But hey, I paid for the 4K service.
I don't know anything about them.
It was like $40-$50 a year.
How would you pay to watch free shit?
Well, I get to watch everything. That was the thing. Stream anything. Mostly everything.
Is there any other questions? Anything else?
No, that was it. That was all.
Wow.
I think that was it.
Wow.
Unless I missed anything on Discord.
No.
Do we have any questions? Nope. No. I didn't even ask any. That would be my fault.
Wow, Gunny.
That would be my fault. Damn it. Well, I was too busy playing fucking SnowRunner. Stupid ass truck driving game.
Anyways,
truck all day tomorrow. No, I try to play a bunch of shit this weekend.
I want to bring attention to a special thing going on in the world right now. A devastating thing going on in the world. Everywhere is running out of food. Specifically Taco Bell. They're running out of food, guys.
I heard they were running out of some ingredients.
They're like, how the fuck does Taco Bell run out of food? God damn it!
I went there last week, and I don't think I had an issue getting.
Went to a Taco Bell the other
Running out
day,
of
Gunny.
powdered meat or what?
Listen, Gunny, I went to a Taco Bell the other day, and they were like, "Yo, this Taco Bell is closed because of national food shortages." I'm like, "What? How?" Went to another Taco Bell, and they're like, "Yo, bro, we don't got them nacho fries." What? You don't got nacho fries? How fucking dare you? I want to speak to the manager right now.
It's
is this shortage just your own anecdotal evidence, or this?
Look, this is happening, Brink. Look it up. Taco Bell food shortage. It's happening, dude. And it's not just Taco Bell, man. Like, I went to a Subway the other day. Subway was closed. And Subway was like, the sign on the door said, "Hey, look, due to food shortages, national food shortages, we can only be open like during weekdays. We cannot open during the weekend."
Hell?
That's crazy. So Jesus, I can tell you, this is kind of locally or whatever, but they're probably in other areas. But have you ever heard of Cisco Foods? They're kind of a big company. It's Cisco Foods.
They supply. Yeah, they supply everyone with food. They supply Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King.
No,
everyone
they do.
With food.
I got this
Jack in the Box
black eye on me. The keeps flying around my head. The but I know that like all the places here, they do all the restaurants. Not all the restaurants, but so check this out. So last week, it's kind of crazy. I've never seen anything like this before, but just for my area, like they said, like truck driver shortage, not enough warehouse people. So they were encouraging their customers to go to the competitor. Is that nuts or what? To say, hey, go buy flour and other products from the other company because we can't supply it. Like,
yeah, I'm wondering if this food shortage is not because they're running out of the ability to grow the food. It's because they can't get workers.
Lack of manpower. He didn't say anything about COVID. Like he just said,
nobody
no,
wants
dude,
to work right now, man.
Yeah, that's
literally,
what he said.
Dude. There's no drivers. Right now, if you're a CDL driver, like if you're a commercial, licensed driver or whatever the fuck,
that'd be me.
You have a,
and you want to
you want to make good money, get a job transporting shit across your state or across two other states, and you'll get a $10,000 bonus sign on, like right off the bat.
Yeah, but the thing is,
there's a lot of
these
companies
places are asking for a year of experience. A lot of these trucker jobs.
Yeah.
I don't understand how these dudes get their first year of experience after.
So the way they get their first year is like, let's say you're driving for Swift or England, then you sign up through them. That's how they kind of get you, right? Like they'll help you through the school. Then it's like a contract. You have to work for them for like a year or two or something.
Yeah.
You're kind of chained to it, right? Or in a sense.
That's why people make fun of Swift drivers a lot.
Yeah.
They're all new, pretty much.
Right. That's the starter place of Swift.
They crash a lot. But yeah, man. Fucking food shortages, guys. It's happening.
Yeah. Just about every business in this city has got help needed signs. And I know at my work, we're like 25% of our employees are just gone. And they can't hire people. Like there's just nobody. There's not enough people that want the jobs, or they want to either not work or be paid some ridiculous amount of money that's just not feasible.
Well, you know what? If Sleepy Joe wouldn't pay people to stay at home and smoke dope, we'd be a better country. Damn it! No, I don't know. That would be interesting to see if we did get, because I don't know the current situation. Like, how does that even work? Like, is it just up to each state how that works as far as unemployment for? Is it the federal government?
I'm not sure. All I know is just a few months ago, I was on the way to work and they were talking about it on the radio, and they said in Colorado, you could make if you had a family of 2 or a family of 4, you, your wife, 2 kids, you could make $80,000 a year by not working. By just staying at home doing that.
Wow. So, yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
For a lot of people, they're like, why? I think I'll just stay home and do some meth.
Yeah, I would
watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I would go. I'd ride my bike around, and because I wouldn't want to drive a car, it would cost fuel, and crush cans to make money for that meth. And then collect my unemployment. Fuck yeah, play video games all day.
Yeah, it's happening, dude. Also in the UK, for our UK listeners, the same thing is happening, Gunny.
Yeah, I've been hearing stories about the UK.
But you know what it is going on? You know what's going on in the UK?
Isn't it on fire and underwater at the same time?
No, they're calling it the pingdemic, because if you have the National Health Service app, which is an app for like their national universal health care or whatever, this app will tell you if you've been close to another person that's been confirmed to have COVID. And if you were close to them, the app texts you and they tell you, hey, you've now been marked as a person who's been close to somebody with COVID. So now you have to isolate for a minimum of 10 days. So now the problem in the UK is everyone's getting these text messages. So everyone has to stay home because they track you on your phone where you go, right? So you had to stay isolated for 10 days and not go to work or not go to the public. So right now in the UK, there's just a lot of shortage issues as well, where like workers are just not showing up to work because they're at home being quarantined because this fucking app is texting them and telling them, hey, motherfucker, you've been in close contact with somebody with COVID. Now you have to stay home. Well, the problem is they all live near each other, so everyone's getting the fucking text message.
I know. I'm just thinking if I'm just sitting in my living room with my lazy boy playing fucking whatever game I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and some COVID motherfucker walks by my front door, on the sidewalk, and I get the text, I'd be like, fuck yeah. Buy me all the cool skins for like the next 2 weeks. Stay at home.
It's fucking nuts, right? And
don't you remember when the COVID thing kind of hit in America? Then I thought Apple like immediately came out with an app.
Apple has the feature. Apple, like, it's on your phone.
Feature, right? But I don't.
There's a thing on your phone that you can turn on that tracks if you've been close to somebody with COVID. But the thing is, it has to be your state has to have the technology to like turn it on. So like if your state is too hobo to turn it on or whatever.
I don't know. Maybe they did. California probably already did, but I don't remember what happened to it. I don't keep notifications on my phone.
I have it on my phone. It says like, hey, look, this is not available in your state. It's only available like in 3 states, like Utah, fucking Arizona, and like some other random fucking state like New Mexico or something. It was like 3 random fucking states that it was available in. Like fucking New Hampshire, Utah, and something else. Like it was really random. And like only 3 states supported it, but it was like this thing where like it tracks kind of like in the UK where it tells you like, hey, you've been close to somebody with COVID. You should probably quarantine yourself or get tested.
Yeah, it's like you should probably. It's not like you've been marked, quarantine immediately.
Right.
Deal.
The Cyberpunk trauma team is on its way to fucking arrest your ass if you don't quarantine.
Oh my god. Be like a Men in Black type situation. Everybody gather around.
Yeah.
I'm letting you guys, there's a food shortage in America at Taco Bell.
That's a big deal. Okay, if it's Taco Bell, definitely. We just went there last week. Not even last week. More like 4 days ago.
It's bad, guys. It's bad, okay? Oh, yeah. So, shout out to our friends in the UK. Hope you guys are good. Yeah.
Don't take all the toilet paper, people, please.
Yeah, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and don't
put on your fucking gas masks. Go to Sam's Club and start hoarding all the toilet paper.
Yeah,
fallout.
Let's do 2020 all over again.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think that with this back to school bullshit going on right now, cases are gonna rise in the
because my kid starts tomorrow, and I'm like, You know what, guys? As much as I love gaming, Jesus, I've said this here before. I love sitting in this chair. Matter of fact, we were supposed to record Whaler, but I was just so fucking chill, just over here. I'm just fucking playing games, right? Like just in the zone. And I thought, well, when he gets up, he'll be on and we'll fucking get online. And Anyway, I lost my train of thought. What I was going to say was, my son Kyle over here, he's 15, sits in that fucking chair all day long and just plays games. Matter of fact, he's supposed to be in here sleeping, by the way. But, it's like, it was nice. Actually, like for him to go to school and he went and saw a friend who he rarely ever goes. And then he walked home. I was like, nice. He actually got some sunlight. I actually saw some people out there today that should be outside, and they were, and I thought it was amazing. But yeah, I thought about that too. Like, oh God, like the janitor is going to get it, or the third grade teacher's niece is probably going to get it. You know what I mean? And then it's going to be like, all right, to take precautions, we got to text everybody and email.
All
every
it
parent
takes
one.
is one kid to go to school with COVID, and they all have COVID, and then they all bring it back home, and now all the parents had COVID, and then the parents go to work, and now everybody at their work has COVID, and that's how it spread. Literally, that's all it fucking takes is one fucking kid. And it was funny because I was looking because Vegas and Nevada, their school starts like right now, like early August for some reason, and I was actually reading a thing on the news saying that like in Reno or something, some parent tested positive for COVID. Like they tested positive for COVID, and their whole family tested positive for COVID, and they still sent their kid to school 2 days later. So their kid went to school with COVID, and then they got like now half the schools in quarantine. Because the first day of school, they like realized, hey, this fucking kid has COVID and he came to school. Why would you send your kid to school if you knew he had, you know what I mean? I don't understand the logic in that fucking thought.
It's possible they didn't know, or I don't know. A lot of people have had it and have no idea,
Or, it's possible that, I who knows, like it could have been that they didn't feel that it was important, like only he had COVID. Like maybe they didn't think about the transmission or, that sort of thing.
Maybe.
I don't know. If you
spreading
just go get the free vaccine if you're scared of it. Otherwise, don't be scared of it, and everybody move on with their lives.
I agree. It's gonna happen though. COVID is on the rise. No PlayStation.
So I
5s.
We spoke about that, Jesus, and I'll I'll try not to get emotional about it, but I do have a friend. He's on a ventilator right now.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, like it was one of those things where I just saw him like 2 weeks ago, and then he was talking about. I was like, "Oh, are you going to get the vaccine?" Because I just kind of walked halfway into a conversation, right? And he was like, "Oh no, I need to go get tested." I was like, "Oh, okay." And he was with the other maintenance guy, right? And so I was like, "Are you going, Lalu?" He goes, "Yeah, I got to go get tested too, or whatever." Blah blah blah. Like apparently because the boss is saying so. Not where I work, by the way. And then, so yeah, he went and got tested. He's positive. Okay, I guess I'll stay home, because I can't kind of work. Okay, no problem, right? Whatever. And then every day was just getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Before you know it, he was. Yeah, so he's been on the ventilator, I think. The breathing machine or whatever. Yeah.
That's scary, dude. Because I know how hard it is to like not be able to breathe. I've been there. I have asthma, and I've been to the point where like the point where I literally couldn't walk. Like I could not walk more than 2 steps before like being completely winded, and I'm talking like winded to the point where I'm sweating, dude. Like I'm drenched in sweat. My body is fighting as hard as it can for me to get any breath. And I've been there, and
I know I've only
like the scary shit, man. When a doctor tells you like we're gonna shove a tube down your fucking throat, that's scary. And I've been there because last time I went to the hospital and I was there for like a couple of days. It was a couple of years ago now. I was there for a couple of days, man. But I remember being in that ER room and the fucking doctors, they're injecting me with fucking steroids. They're injecting me with anti-fucking, what is it, like fucking allergy medicine, like hardcore shit. They're like injecting me with all kinds of shit to slow down my heart rate and all kinds of shit. And they're like, look, motherfucker, if you're not catching your breath in the next few minutes, we're going to fucking shove a tube down your throat and turn on a machine to breathe for you. And I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I was like, hell no, dude. Because once COVID, when you have it, they say the mortality rate goes up to 50% when they shove a tube down your throat. When they put you on the
Yeah, I
ventilator,
thought they stopped doing the tubes because they were having a
yeah,
higher rate of death when they were using them.
yeah.
Yeah, so matter of fact, they had even mentioned that, like, oh, this is a possibility for my friend or whatever, but they didn't do that thing that you just talked about. I forgot what it's called because the wife just said what it was.
They do all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
To help you
whatever the
breathe.
medical name for that tube or whatever you talked about.
Yeah.
So when I say ventilator, like they more or less just have the thing on his face. Like they didn't put that pipe down his
Oh,
throat.
they haven't shoved the tube
Okay,
down
yeah.
his throat. Okay.
Yeah, I saw. So the ventilators with the tube, right? And I thought it was
Yeah.
just like the respirator that like just uses pressure with the mask,
Respirator. I'm sorry. Yes, not
Yeah.
ventilator.
or
I don't
just,
know medical
or
stuff.
does it? Is it just oxygen? I don't know if it applies.
Yeah, and then they did
Uh,
like Jesus, what you talked about the steroid thing or whatever. Like
Yeah.
so, and then like his 10-year-old son has it, but he's fine, right? He's 10.
Apparently, little kids don't get affected by it. Like this is the little
He
kid
is
virus.
affected by it. So
This
I
is the
mean, this
little
is
kid.
me personally.
This is the little kid
Well,
virus that doesn't kill little kids. Like they're like immune to.
no,
this
no, no.
shit.
There's no. You're right. There's no. Okay, so just from a personal, talking to his mother, that's who we've been talking to because my friend he can't talk, and I know people were like, "What do you mean COVID doesn't make it?" Well, he's got the fucking respirator or the ventilator, whatever the thing is on his face, so that's why he can't talk. Well, he doesn't have his phone either. He's in the hospital anyway. So yeah, just speaking to his wife, but no, the kid's fine. So he's coughing a lot.
CDC says little kids have 99.99% chance of surviving this shit. Like they're like if they're younger than 12 or 10, I think it's 10. If they're younger than 10 or 10 or younger, like the chances of them surviving it is like 100% almost 100%.
Yeah,
Now, not to say some do die, but they usually have like some other shit.
She's not letting him leave the apartment, so I think she's definitely smart. Like we talked to her, we're like, so yeah, you guys are just in quarantine. She goes, yeah. I'm like, hey, you guys need anything? You need food or milk or bread or anything? You let us know. We'll come over there.
There's a few people that I've seen on the news. A few people, man, that are just like sitting there like, I regret. I should have got the vaccine. I'm like, dude, you should have got the vaccine. Now it's too late. Yeah. Like people sitting there crying and shit because their wife is on a fucking ventilator dying or something. Oh no, she's gonna make it home. I should have got. It's like, well, dude, it's just called regret, man. Live with your choice. You made that choice. You know what I mean? No one told you to not get the vaccine. Pretty sure people told you to get it. You decided not to. Now you got it. Now you're dying, or your wife is dying, or whatever the fuck. Sorry, dude. Like I feel bad for these people, but at the same time, it's like you were told. You know, like Brink said, you live with your choice, man. You either get the vaccine or you don't. You know? The risk is you may die, you may not. You may die if you get the vaccine. Fucking vaccine causes like blood clots in some people and shit. And kills people doing that, you know what I mean? I heard the vaccine for some people, like my age, like in their 30s, it makes your heart like an old person's heart. Like it fucking blood clots and crystallizes and shit, your blood and all kinds of weird shit to it. Where it makes your fucking blood pressure rise a lot.
Yeah, I hear some people just never quite recover from it, right? That's nuts.
From just the vaccine, right? And like, so I get why some people don't want to get it. At the same time, that's their choice. I don't care. I don't care if you get it.
I'm with you on that too. Yeah, I say let it be your choice.
Just don't cry at the end of the day if you get it and you're dying and you're like, oh, I should have got it. Well, you should have, but
right.
If you choose not to get it, I just say make sure you're as healthy as possible. You're a good weight. Yeah. You take care of yourself, because
or you just live in your house. And never leave your house.
If you're generally not that healthy, it could very well fuck you up.
Right. Yeah, my friend, he's only 40. He just hit 40 actually this year.
Yeah,
young guy.
Fucks them up regardless. Some people get the vaccine and it still fucks them up. So I don't know, but yeah, man. Anyway, stay safe out there, people. Stay safe with the COVID bullshit. I know that, like I said, I am gonna say that, like with the back to school shit starting and some schools not requiring masks, and little kids, dude, even if they have masks, they're fucking
It's gonna be
little
below
kids,
the nose,
man.
right?
They
That's
ain't
just
doing
the way it's gonna
those.
be.
Those masks aren't doing shit for those little kids, man. It's not.
The fucking little kids are running around playing and shit. They're probably fucking trading masks with the other kids because they think that other mask. Hey, bro, I'll trade you my mask for your mask. I
They're
like your
reaching in there,
mask.
picking boogers and eating them and
Yeah,
shit.
Right,
they
they're
don't give a
poking holes in
fuck.
there with pencils, right? Come on.
They don't give a shit. They're gonna be spreading that shit everywhere. It's gonna be ridiculous. So there's gonna be probably a fucking huge spike coming I'll say the next couple of months. We're
Right.
probably gonna see like a huge spike of COVID cases, and eventually it'll go back down. Like I said, what did they expect? It's like they had everyone sheltered, right, for like a whole year, right? They had everyone quarantined and everyone fucking everything shut down and mask and all that shit, right? And then they're like, oh, well, everything went down. There's not a lot of cases. We should open up. And they open everything up, don't require a mask anymore, and the cases rise. Well, what the fuck did you expect was going to happen? What did you really think? What did your analyst sit there and predict in terms of rising cases if no one wore a mask? And it's exactly what happened, and now they're freaking out because the cases are rising. Now they're trying to make everyone wear a mask again and everything. I'm surprised they haven't shut everything down again. But now they're making everyone wear a mask again. And it's like...
It's coming.
What's the point? Did you not know that this was going to happen?
Grab your toilet paper.
I just like, what was the point of the vaccine, though, if they're just going to reinstall the mask mandate? Like, I thought the whole point of the vaccine was so we could take our masks off and to living like
that's what
Americans
I thought.
again.
It is, but it's not. It's kind of like any other vaccine, really. It's kind of like...
We need that
It's
herd
almost
immunity,
like
right?
It's like the flu vaccine, right? You get it, but you can still get the flu.
It's just not going to kill you. Yeah.
It might not kill you or it might not affect you as badly. It might still kill you if it's bad enough, I guess, if your body's weak enough. But it's just like that, really. Like that's what the vaccine is. It's like that. It's like a flu shot almost. Because this virus, it's a virus. It mutates. That's the thing about viruses mutate and they adapt constantly. And usually when a vaccine comes out, there's always a new variant out there that they got to make the next vaccine for. That's why the flu shot is recommended for people every year, because every year they're trying to predict whatever the CDC or whoever makes the vaccines, whatever they release in public for the flu shot, is what they have predicted is going to be the variant or the strain that year. Sometimes they're completely off. They're like, oh, well, fuck, we fucked up. It wasn't the right strain. We should have made it for that strain, but we didn't, or whatever, And sometimes they're completely on the dot. They're like, oh, fuck yeah, we were able to make the right vaccine this year for this strain. But half the time it's just predictions. They just predict. It's all prediction. It's all... Really, the flu shot is just like an in case... Maybe this virus will come out, but you can still get the flu. You're going to get a different kind of strain of the flu, but you might still get it. You're not 100% protected from the flu when you get a flu shot.
I guess it's just hard to wrap my brain around the fact that it's just going to be, we're going to wear them for all of eternity now.
I don't think
COVID's never going to go away. The vaccine's always never going to be 100% effective. So we're just going to have to wear the mask for forever.
Yeah.
They're never going to come off.
And I think it's gonna get to a point where the masks are people are just not going to care anymore. Either they're not going to care and they're going to keep wearing masks, or they're just going to be like, you know what, fuck this, we're done.
Or we're gonna need a civil war going here. Come on.
Civil war. No, like it's going to get to a point where people are just done. People are just like, you know what, like fuck this. Like what's the point of all this? Like we've done everything we could. Like at this point, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Right.
Well, maybe someone will come up with new advancements in the vaccine and figure that shit out.
A super COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
We got all the strains in here, all the shots in one, all in one.
Teach your DNA how to make all the shit. Armor. Yeah. COVID armor.
COVID armor. Yeah. COVID armor. The patent trademark pending. Horrible gamers. COVID armor.
Hey, that's gonna be the name of it, dude. That shit's gonna be
COVID
tight,
armor
man.
sounds fucking dope. Doesn't that sound cool as shit, Gunny? I'll get
I'm about to go get my COVID armor.
Got me some COVID armor. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Anyways, with all that being said, stay safe out there, people. Stay healthy. Stay good. Try to not get the Rona. If you get the Rona, stay away from people. Don't give them the Rona. If you haven't got a shot, maybe go get a shot. It's up to you. But if you don't get the shot and you get sick and you're dying, don't cry about it. It was your choice. Now you live with the consequences of it. So there's that. Anyways, that being said, find the Mayo driving his Camaro in a cornfield doing donuts. You know what? I imagine the Mayo like the dude Ricky Bobby from Talladega Nights. He just drives fast everywhere, does donuts in the cornfield, writes his name in the cornfield with like doing the burnout, like the donut. He writes his name Mayo with the Camaro as he's driving. Mayo number 1 is what he writes on the grass. Yeah, that's how I envision the Mayo. When I think Mayo's on about doing things, this is how I envision Mayo living his life. Hanging out with butlers, fucking doing drugs, hanging out by the pool, using the free car wash at his parking lot, eating free taco truck food, drinking all the Starbucks that's downstairs from his office, from his fucking tower condo place he lives in. There's a Starbucks on his bottom floor, he said, that he gets for free. You can just get it for free anytime. As on there, just free Starbucks. It's just there.
Holy shit. He's like Ricky Bobby mixed with the Wolf of Wall Street guy.
Yeah, this dude's just fucking living the life over there, dude. Got Lamborghini driving neighbors and shit. I'm just telling you, this guy is like living in the Beverly Hills of Ohio. So now when he's moving, which I wouldn't move, I just wouldn't pay rent for 3 more months. Might as well. Make those Camaro payments extra. Double Camaro payments.
There you go.
Just live there for free, Mayo. Might as well, bro. Get all the free Starbucks you can. Be fucked up to like lock him out of the Starbucks machine. No, it's like, you don't get access to this anymore. Yeah, you don't get any access to this anymore, you non-rent paying motherfucker. They like lock him out of the car wash, lock him out of the pool. Like he goes up to the taco truck to get food, they like deny him. Like, sorry, your membership has expired.
It's been revoked.
Your membership has expired. We have you on the list here of non-paying customers. Oh, that would suck. Anyways, you can find me on everything as JesusWalksAlot. I never told you where you can find them. Find the Mayo on everything as the Mayo. Find me on everything as JesusWalksAlot. Find us on our Discord. Where can we find you, Brink?
Pretty much on everything as Brink of Eternity.
Yeah. What about you?
Am I supposed to provide something other than that?
What's your Twitter handle? You got a Twitter handle and Spotify. I'm not your LinkedIn.
I don't have anything. I don't do anything. So
you're not part of the system, bro.
Not a
you don't want the lizards tracking you.
Okay. His fucking webcam is tracking him. If they want to track that,
I know it's like following him everywhere he goes.
Yeah,
eyeball tracking.
It's the NVIDIA broadcast doing that, not the camera. It's all it's all the program.
Goddamn, it's the fucking FBI agent behind your camera, dude. It's following you around the room.
It legit looks like there's a camera on a swivel, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. But guys, go find me, Gunny Chief, pretty much everywhere except for PlayStation. I do the HGP _Gunny over there.
Yeah. All right, mate. Find us
going to
next week
walkabout
on the Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 350, 366. Sorry, eh? 366 episodes later, man. Fuck.
Damn.
God damn, next week is 366. That means we're just, 35 away from 400, Gunny.
That's crazy.
I know how to do math. Wow.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
I would have been like, are we at episode 500 yet?
That's a lot of hours of your voice that's just on the interwebs floating around.
Somebody could probably totally make like a Jesus Cortana.
Voice box, like a Jesus voice box. Like, because you probably said every word that could be said by
literally. Yeah.
You know,
like,
I'm
just
thinking,
have it speak anything and impersonate you.
Yeah, impersonate.
They have those. They have those directional software programs, like you can put, like Arnold Schwarzenegger or other personalities in there.
Yeah.
But I was thinking if I had a good Jesus one, right? And I'm driving my truck, turn left, motherfucker.
In 500 feet, turn left. Stupid shit. And just randomly cuss you out as you're driving. You fucking idiot. Make a U-turn.
And then I go on the railroad
next
track. You're like, you fucking idiot. You turn the fuck around right now. What are you doing?
Speaking of weird technology like that, I just saw a news story the other day, and apparently at one of NVIDIA's recent keynotes, Jensen was in his kitchen where he gives his keynotes from, and apparently 14-second keynote was actually a completely digitized version of him. Like they made a digital version of his kitchen and a digital version of him speaking and cut it into the real material for 14 seconds and then went back to the real material, and nobody even noticed. They had to come out afterwards and say that they had done that, which is wild.
That is.
It's like past the point of uncanny valley. They can make actual real video at this point.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's real scary.
They're using this AI for everything. AI is powerful.
That's kind of scary as shit.
Yeah, when they can start impersonating very important people, doing some fucked up stuff with that.
Imagine like impersonating the president of the United States, just declaring war on everyone.
Yeah, dude.
We declare war on the world.
Time,
you know what I mean? Some hackers.
That's gonna happen.
Some hackers get a hold of that shit and impersonate like the president declaring war on like everyone. Like, yeah, I just ordered the nuclear strike of 50 countries. It's gonna launch in the next 2 minutes. People would freak the fuck out, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, if you don't send us this money, we're gonna launch all these nukes. Yeah. They could do so much crazy shit with that. And how are you thinking to know the difference? Like, fuck, man.
Yeah, you don't. That is scary shit. Anyways, people, I want you to go to sleep thinking about that tonight.
I didn't know we were still recording.
Good person with you. We love you. Peace out. Good night, everyone. Bye.